11月23日発売予定の行列のフィ
Welcome,
ナー
hi,
レですが、
hello,
申し訳ござい
welcome
ませ
to
ん。
our
間に合いま
live
せんでし
letter.
た。すいません。
Oh no.
So we will explain the reasonings later, but this is to sincerely apologize that the Endwalker expansion that was planned for November 23rd, I'm afraid will not make it in time for that release timing, so we sincerely apologize.
まあちょっと結論からお話しさせていただきますが、すいません、2週間延期をさせてください。
So to make a long story short, we want to seek your forgiveness that we will be delaying the release of the expansion pack by 2 weeks.
正式な発売日をですね、12月7日とさせていただいて、アーリーアクセスのスタートをですね、11月19日予定だったのを12月3日とすいません、させてください。
And so the release date will now be shifted to December the 7th, and early access, which was originally planned for November 19th. I'm terribly sorry, but this will also be shifted to December the 3rd, and we apologize.
Big news to start out
理由
with.
としては、一言で言うとすいません、僕のわがままです。
And the reason behind that, and if I were to sum it up in just a few words, is I'm sorry again, but this is a very selfish reason.
まあインタビューでもちょっとお伝えしてた通り、今回のその行月のフィナーレは、まあ、過去最大のもう拡張なのは本当に、まあ、作ってる自分らがよくわかるんですけど、間違いなく、まあ、尋常じゃないボリュームを、まあ、なんとか作ってきて、開発チームのみんなもものすごい努力で、正直物量に関しては押し込めてます。それだけで言えば予定通り出せる状態でした。
And I touched upon this during some of the interviews, but Endwalker is definitely going to be one of the largest expansions that we have worked on, and coming from the team and kind of experiencing firsthand the production of this expansion, we know there's a lot of stuff that's going into this expansion. And in terms of like all of the content that we've stuffed in there, those were all moving according to plan. In terms of
ただですね、それと同時に今回、まあ、9番から11年かけてやってきたハイデリン・ゾディアーク編という、まあ、一つ目の大きなサーガのラストということで、まあ、とにかく皆さんにこう伏線の回収とかをとにかく誤解のないように、取り違いがないようにっていうので、まあ、徹底してクオリティ調整をやってきて、まあ、本当に僕にしかわからないと思うんですけど。
So for those of you just joining us, we're starting out with a delay. They delayed it by 2 weeks. Yes, Corby Day.
あってですね。まあひたすらごめんなさい。ひたすらすいません、調整をかけてたらですね、最後のマスター QA の期間をちょっと食い潰してしまうっていう状態になりました。
But at the same time, this is a saga that we have been working on since the original Final Fantasy XIV, so for about 11 years now. And this is the sort of last part of the Heidelin Zodiac saga. And there are so many foreshadowing and lore that have been established that we wanted to make sure that we're tying up all the loose ends so that there are no misunderstanding, misinterpretation. I was very particular about making sure that these have been thoroughly examined, and these might be things so subtle that only I am aware of these, but I really wanted to make sure that we were very thorough
Keep hitting
about
the mic
this.
with my chest.
And I just continued with making these adjustments and reviewing and revising and refining that it ate into some of the master QA time.
It's not a month, it's not 6 months, it's 2 weeks.
ほんの数営業日の差だったんですけど、やっぱり今回、まあ、皆さんもお気づきの通り、 まあ史上最大の混雑が
That
予想
seems
さ
to
れ
be
る
the
状態で、
feeling in the chat. The
これマス
chat
ター
is
級への
all
期間
love.
っ
The
ていうのは
chat
安定性に
is
非常に大きく関わ
very
るところなの
positive.
で、
This is an
まあこれを
unheard of world for
強
me.
引な縮め方を
Those of you who are
して
new
で
here
も
or
無理に
new
出す
to these type of
この
streams,
2
they
週
are
間
more
っていうの
calm,
が
they're
本当にいい
collected,
こと
we
な
are
のかっ
talking,
て
we
いう
are
のを
talking during the Japanese bits because I don't speak Japanese, I'm sorry
ま
to
あすごい
say.
悩んだんですけど、すいません、先週の金曜日です決断したのも本当
I
に
agree,
遅くてすい
Kane.
ません。
And the only thing is, it comes to an unfortunate time because December tends to be a drop
It was
off.
just a matter of a few business days in terms of our schedule for Master QA. But considering, and I'm sure everybody is aware, with congestion and the access that we were experiencing and just the influx of people, we wanted to take the appropriate time for Master
More
QA
time to clear.
because it does relate to the stability of our build, and when trying to evaluate,
Oh yeah, he does look tired.
is this appropriate to release and force it?
Amy's hair in red though.
I was very much
Love
torn
it.
on making that decision, but I had to draw the line somewhere, and I really apologize. This is something that we kind of finalized and made the decision as of last Friday, so it is very sudden.
まあここまで11年からプロデューサー
The amount of
とディレクターを
apologizing this man
やってきて
made
まあ
for making a
常々
business
お一人でやって
decision
るので
based on quality
折り合いを
is incredible.
つけてきたんですけど、
We even got the head down moment, which I understand is very
まあちょっと
Eastern, but
あの
we got
まあ
that.
1回目の集大成ってことがあって自分の中でもどう
We're
しても
time
折り合いが
Alexander and Omega.
つかなくて
Yes.
ちょっとディレクターのわがままを
So we've got our
すいませ
monster
ん
here.
抑
I
え
got a big old nap in. This
きれない
should be a good night,
状
guys.
態になってしまいました。すいません。
And being producer and director over the course of 11 years, I myself was the producer and director, so
It's incredibly
in a lot of
Corby
cases I
Day.
was able to just
It blows
deal
my
with
mind.
it and move on. But considering this is our first culmination, a finale of sorts, I really couldn't compromise, and just the director in me really wanted to push this thought. So again, I'm sorry.
まあ以前その
And I have only seen one negative chat so far. To be fair, I'm reading it quickly and I don't read Japanese,
あ
but
の初夏になったこ
it's
と
incredible.
があったんですけど、
Support.
まあ自分自身こう14だけじゃなくて、
Oh, it works out
キャ
for
リ
me.
ア全体
Listen, I ain't
通じてもこう
complaining.
発売日を
I'm gonna play it when I got
発
to it
表してからこ
regardless.
う伸ばすってことを
And
した
I
方
have a
が
lot of
した
time
の
off
で
coming in November and December, so it worked out
Right.
regardless for me. I'm just so interested in the reaction. I'm so interested in what people are saying. Look at the body language.
Yeah.
Look at the.
I remember when we did Heaven's Word, we mentioned the release time was going to be springtime, but it ended up being early summer. But this is, gosh, the first time, and not just with 14, but just throughout my entire career, that we had announced a release date and had to
Like-
delay it. So again, I feel really bad about this.
Like the body language speaks it to you. Even if he was just saying the words, "We apologize for the inconvenience." There's a very big difference to.
すいません
I'm so sorry, guys. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's. Looks like he's about to cry. I think he is crying. He is.
いや皆さんが
Oh.
ね有給取ったりもうねしてくれてるのも分かってたんでパッチを
He's gonna make me cry if he keeps this up.
まあ
Stop
分割
it!
してその出そうかとかまあ思い切ってねカットしよう
Oh,
か
that'll
ってい
be
うの
fun,
も
Asmodeus.
考えたんですけ
Can't
ど
wait.
もともとねそういう風に作られてるわけじゃないので、まあ、やっぱり品質を
That happens, though, Kane, and it happens
すいま
everywhere.
せ
It
ん今回
happened
はちょっと
for Shadowlands. It happened for any other game.
優
It
先
does
してください
suck.
すいません
And I understand some of you had taken days off for this, and I
Look, he's
know that
mentioning
people
it.
have been preparing for this, and we tried to think if there was any way to do this like can we split it up into patches and release it at separate timings, or do we just make a bold step and cut some of the elements? But that's not how our content is made, fortunately. And so this time we really wanted to prioritize bringing you the best quality. So again,
Right,
I'm
Corby
really
Day?
sorry it came to this.
いや2週間で足りんのかっていうお声もちょっとねこっち側にコメントがあるんでコメントもすいません拝見してるんですけど大丈夫です。もうほぼほぼ終わってるのであとは本当に QA を
It's also interesting that he's choosing like right at the beginning.
いければそれに関しては大丈夫なのでまあ本当はね1周でもっていう選択肢があったぐらいなんですけど、まあ、しっかり安定性取りたいっていうのとあとやっぱり後ろに続くパッチのスケジュールっていうところに対して
100% Patrick, 100%.
そう考えるとすいません2週間
Looks like he's got the world on his shoulders and he's treating it like he does.
させていただきました。
I agree, Rich, but I mean, I also understand that I used to do that for WoW expansions.
Is 2 weeks going to be enough? And thank you for those comments. From that standpoint, we're okay. It's just a matter of doing thorough QA at this point, and we should be fine. There were talks about do we take 2 weeks of QA or 1 week of QA, but again, we
that's
wanted
a
to make
whole
sure that
story,
we're testing
Asmodeus.
for stability, and plus we also need to have support for the patch schedule following the expansion. So yeah, we decided that 2 weeks would be our safe bet.
いや自分でも
Yeah,
こ
the
こまで
work's done. It's quality
なんだろう
assurance. That's good to hear.
作っててなんか思ってた以上に
And I mean, I used to. The only thing is that I learned
すごかったんだなと思って
after a while to not because of failed launches or poor failed launches and stuff like that. I ended up just taking specific time, like a lot of Fridays off, so I could game more when the servers and stuff were up. So I have every Friday off for the rest of the year right now. And then a bunch of days in between. Like I'm off December 15th until January.
次にね、14がさらにこう進んでいくためにも
Like next week I'm off the 11th and the 12th. Like we're good. We got time. That's how I ended up doing it.
And I didn't even realize that I had put so much of myself in there, and just my emotions have kind of grown attached to this expansion. And it was very unexpected that I would feel so much about this, but I think players, especially those who've been with us since the original, our legacy players, can understand. But this is
that's Yoshi P.
Not just
He's the
finale,
director
but
and
it's,
producer.
Looking at the entire story saga and kind of looking at the different loose ends and seeing those come to.
Oh, it works out for me,
conclusion.
Rich.
So,
100%.
I know I may have been a little too nitpicky or very
Congrats,
particular
dude.
about all of what's going into this expansion, but considering we're going to move on and continue the story after we have made a sort of milestone with this saga, I think I needed to make sure that we are giving it our all and we're doing all that we can for this expansion.
It's definitely tough to start out new work and stressful. I wish you the best, and I hope it's the best job you've ever had. Oh, Stephen, I'm guilty of it. I've done it so many times in the past, and to sit there and say I didn't is a lie. Fat lie. I used to book the week of Halloween off because BlizzCon was at the end of the week, and I got to enjoy Halloween with the kids. And then I would book expansion time in the summer when it would drop.
I'm seeing in the comments, people are saying that, hey, that's really late in terms of when you made the decision about delaying the release. And I understand. I totally understand. We made this decision last Friday, and
agree,
I
Rich.
consulted the board of directors, and one of the board members, Mr. Miyake, had mentioned Sure, this worked because it's a game you're working on. This is way too late in terms of making a decision. So I understand, and
Got
I
time
agree
for
that
Dragoon.
it is a very late decision.
Or just any kind of emotion, and even in his words, like, no, like, we are sorry as a company. And you're like, no, I've been working very hard on this. It's our team. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? It's accountability. His last interview was actually quite good because there was a lot of that accountability word. Yes, Patrick, the openness is refreshing. He said the word apologize at least 9-10 times.
Kind of breaks some of the trust that we have built with you over the course of
we are 20 minutes in.
And
he's still apologizing for a business decision
that
will improve his product and improve his goodwill.
We will continue to strive hard with not only 6.0 Endwalker, but with content beyond that for 6.1 and onward. We are progressing with the production of 6.1, and so we're hoping that with these updates we can earn your trust again, and so your continued support is greatly appreciated.
It didn't, Steven. It's still kind of 50-50 on it, because I mean they're at a point where they got to do something because they need to fix their reputation quickly. Their budget is showing it. So. Very true, Grunge.
So I can keep apologizing, but it's not gonna make the master checks any quicker. So let us move on, and I would like to quickly go over the schedule.
さて、パッチ 6.0 だけではなくて、レシピ等々もあるので、6.05 までのスケジュールを改めて
And he just cried.
So the schedule, this is
Like,
not
it's
just
in
for 6.0.
Rich, you're absolutely correct,
because
and
we
he's
do have,
showing that,
Savage
which is
Raid
kind of
as
nice to
well.
see.
I will cover
Not
the
that I
schedule
want to
to
watch the man cry, but to show that I worked really hard, and I'm sorry I didn't do well for you is
ま
incredible.
ず、日付の赤い順からになりますが、改めてすいません、11月19日予定だった、アーリーアクセスのスタートを12月3日とさせてください。
Is on the X
we will
button?
go in chronological order,
Oh,
but
good.
early
Okay.
access, which was originally planned for November 19th. Again, I'm terribly sorry, but we are going to be shifting that to December the 3rd.
See, again, another apology.
はい
Like,
でその次がですね、
incredible to see.
正式発売日、改めて12月7日とさせていただきます。
yeah, if they're being honest with us and it's quality, then it's great.
This will be December 7th.
Unless they find massive bugs, but you see what I mean.
そしてですね、12月21日、その正式サービス開始から2週間後の火曜日ですね、12月21日に、パッチ 6.01、ここでレイドが、
Pandemonium?
ノーマルの方ですね、スタートします。
And December 21st, this would be 2 weeks, the Tuesday 2 weeks following the launch of the expansion, will be patch 6.01. This is where we'll be implementing the normal mode for the raid.
そしてですね、お正月休みをすいません挟む形になりますが、2022年、1月4日にパッチ 6.05、
So the elegant tombstones, gear, and okay.
してアラガントームストーンの上位修正源がかかる方ですね。
Pandemonium.
それから新式装備等々の追加を行います。
And then this will be after the New Year holidays, but on January the 4th, we will implement patch 6.05, which is where we will open up the Savage Raid, and then for the
Rich.
tombstones, the ones
Spicy
with the
tonight,
cap,
you.
will be added, and then the new gear will be added as
He
well.
very much treats it like it Corby Day.
元々の
It's interesting. That shows that he's going to be working throughout the holidays very much. Because January 4th is return to work for most businesses.
年明けスタートとさせてください。年内にね、すべての僕ら準備を
So I know
整
the
え
date off
て、
the top of
年
my
明け
head.
すぐに パッチがリリースできるように、準備をさせていただきます。
Which is good, Grunge. Again, if he's honest about the QA, then we're in a good spot.
And setting up your schedule based
2
on
and
the previous
9.
version. But
That's right.
again, I'm terribly sorry.
I guess still gotta play it, Bruno.
It will be after the new year that the Savage raids will open up. We will make preparations as much as possible before the calendar year ends, so that we can jump into the new year and work on the updates.
運営開発が進めてないんじゃっていうお声をすいませんいただいてますが大丈夫です。ちゃんとそこも計算して日程は決めているので、実際ノーマルの練習の方も完成してバランス調整も実際には終わっていて、あとはマージって言ってそのパッチを出すための準備を年内営業日中にやってそういう形になりますので大丈夫です。ありがとうございます。
I appreciate the comments worrying about our staff, but will people be able to take some time off at the calendar year end and in the new years? But thank you. That has been taken into consideration, and it is part of the scheduling that we have done. The actual content for normal and savage versions of the raids are complete, and the balance adjustments have been concluded. All we need to do is set up the merge. And so that will be the process that we'll be handling during the end of the calendar year during our business days. So we should be fine in terms of that.
Sorry about that.
はい。まあさっきもお話しした通りコンテンツはもう仕上がってはいるので、まあ僕がとにかくこだわって調整してたのはストーリー周り。
Right, it's incredible, Corey Day. It blows my mind.
クオリティとかなので、コンテンツに関しては大丈夫です。もうそういう意味だと。
This is what happens when you gain goodwill. People treat you with it.
どっちかというとコンテンツチームはもう 6.1 の方をガリガリやってるので、
That's it. That's incredible.
始まりつつあるので、はい、大丈夫です。ありがとうございます。
I got a new rule.
But yeah, rest assured, the content themselves have already been built. The parts where it required that additional time was the things that I needed to look at, like the story, the cutscenes, the character modeling, and the quality, just tweaking the quality of the character modeling. So the rest of the team is working on like fine-tuning of the job balances as well as content for 6.1. And they're working hard at the upcoming content. I know some of the teams are working on balancing the ultimate content as well.
さて、すいません。では、改めて以上お知らせになります。本当すいませんが、あとはもういつもの PLL としてすいませんやらせていただきます。この後当然ね放送見られてない方もいらっしゃるので、トピックスの方で僕の方から
Can you go get my pink blanket instead?
発売日延期2週間延期について
I'm working on it, guys.
トピックスも出させていただきますので、PLL ねリアルタイムでねご覧いただけてない方はすいませんそちらの方もご確認いただければと思います。
So yeah, that kind of concludes that first part where we needed to relay all this information. And so from here on out, we will get back to our regularly scheduled letter from the producer.
Half hour.
Now, we understand that not everybody is watching this broadcast in real time, so we do intend on making a lodestone topics post regarding this 2-week delay of the release of the expansion. And so for those who may have missed this broadcast in real time, we do encourage you to look it up on the topics as well.
ここで1点この先進めていくんですけど、その前にちょっと1点だけちょっと補足させていただきたいんですけど、ちょっと
Happy to have fall here.
吉田さんもう一回コメント見てもらっていいですか？吉田さんが皆さんから見て画面の左側を見てるシーンが今日たびたびあると思いますけど、今日のこのスタジオ PLL スタジオのセットアップ上あっち側に皆さんのコメントが流れてる専用のスクリーンがあって、吉田さんがあっち側を向いているときは放送に集中してないんじゃなくて皆さんのコメントを読んでいるということなのでよろしくお願いいたします。So let me follow up one thing.
Oh yeah.
And you may notice Yoshida-san is facing the left side of the screen from your point of view, and then that doesn't mean Yoshida-san is not concentrating on the streaming. And then there is actually a dedicated monitor showing your comments from each channels. And then when he is facing that way, that means he's reading your comments.
はい、ニコニコも YouTube も Twitch もすべてこちら側に3スクリーンで拝見してますんで。
Yes, these comments, we have these on 3 different channels, but all 3 channels are on, we're tracking the comments on this monitor here, so.
詫びラップしろっていうのもちゃんと見てますよ。僕のラップごときで、それになるんだったら全然いいですけど。
Apparently, some people are expecting Yoshida to rap about his apology, but I mean, if that's what satisfies people, sure, but.
まあ詫びラップをやってもね、ゲームが盛り上がるわけです。
Well, yeah, they've got Twitch, YouTube, and I think it's Niku
トレー
Niku.
ラーを行こうかなと思います。ローンチトレーラー、準備できてますんで。
I think.
So yeah, I don't think the game itself will get any more exciting if I were to start rapping about the apology. So, but we do have a trailer for you to look at.
Oh, bitch.
Show.
さあでは、準備。
Y'all gotta look at my desktop for a minute.
皆さんも大丈夫ですか？
Ready?
1回目というか日本語でいきます今回は。すいません、私の母国言語である
Okay,
日本語版
now
で
this is the one part a lot of you people are gonna be very angry
we're going
about.
to play this trailer. Apologies, it's going to be in Japanese. It's,
Oh, okay, we're gonna
so
keep
that
it.
Yoshida, it's in Yoshida's native language, so we will be playing back this trailer.
Okay, we're gonna
それでは
minimize it.
ローン
Alright.
チトレーラーになります。どうぞ。
Hi, everyone. So we're to keep it quiet. How's everybody? For those of you who don't know, I've not finished Shadowbringers. If you're new to the channel, I have not finished Shadowbringers. And I really, really, really don't want to get spoiled right now. I'm right there. I am into it. So my background's Warrior of Light, of Darkness. I'm gonna eventually have one of my Popoto. I think that'll be cute. Be right back. Go ahead, take a break. This is a chill stream. You're not gonna miss anything, and if you do, we'll discuss it. This is you gotta go to use the washroom, get a snack. Go ahead. Like this is we're here for a while. I got an energy drink going. Checking my emails quickly. Looking at my spam box because spam. Ooh, makeup sales. Love them. The music's pretty. I can only speculate. This is kind of nice that it's in Japanese. I'm not gonna lie. I like the idea that I can't cheat and watch. I require baby carrots. Okay. We got something epic. On the bright side, we've got a half a page of notes already that we're following along. I'm an old-fashioned book and paper type person. I don't know if you guys like that. Even at the office, I'll take notes on the. I've got a book for office. She sounds epic. So I have no idea what's coming out of Endwalker. Or out of Shadowbringers. It still confuses the shit out of me. I don't know where it's going. But I'm sure we'll get there. You sound Stop it, Alan. Glad you're enjoying it. Is it subtitled? Hey dog, get up from there. Hi puppy. Sounds like the end, I would take a guess. Just looking. No, it's not. Bad peeps. Saw nothing. We're good. So hyped. So glad you guys are hyped. I need a new background picture. Something that's a little bit darker, more reflective, you know. Okay, it went dead. I'm just going to look up. Okay, we're good. That's good, Alan. That's always fun. We will be watching it again once I finish Shadowbringers.
The various different languages as well.
URL 出せますか？アップ中。多言語を公開に切り替えて
I guess it was good, Corby Day. People are freaking out.
Live as we speak, so one moment, please.
きっとね、皆さん母国語でご覧になりたい。
So we'll be able to watch it once we finish Shadowbringers. Now I have a better chance of doing it.
I'm sure you would like to watch it in your own languages, so we are pushing these to.
So y'all can watch the English version.
Live right now, so just one more moment.
This dog is trying to steal my blanket.
では
Oh, that is so cool, Philip.
I think we have our URLs ready.
はい、ローンチトレーラー。
They even have it in French? Cool. We'll go listen to it just to see. After, obviously. Some slight spoilers? Do you think I'll catch up onto it, Daggett? Maybe not. I don't know. I maybe shouldn't poke the bear. Hello, puppy.
放送側はですね、どうしましょう。日本語版をもう一回みんなで音マイクありにして見てみますか。
That was incredible. I was so excited. Don't poke the bear. Okay. I get is.
So of course, these are our different languages in all of the YouTube videos have been pushed live. So if you would like to take
the
a look
YouTube
at
videos
it
are
in
now
your own
live.
language,
So if y'all want to
we'd
go
like
see it,
also
you can
take
go
a
see it.
look at it once again. Here on the live stream, I believe we'll be looking at the Japanese version, but we will be adding our commentaries on top.
Oh.
じゃあ皆さん多言語の URL 大丈夫そうですかね。大丈夫であれば日本語版を
French spoilers,
流しましょうか。
そうですね。
If everybody is okay with the different URLs here, we are going to move forward and look at the Japanese version again.
それではお願いします。
Okay, we're just gonna
ね、
put it down.
そうですね。今回は本当に静かにじわじ
Their
わ
commentary would be so good to listen to in
ナレー
English.
ションのね、まあ、エメとセルクなんだろうなという声が結構ね、え、なんでっていう。
But yeah, it is a
We'll just
very
set up very quiet and very slowly, and the narration, assuming that it's probably Emmett speaking here.
はい、映画のトレーラーのような感じですよね。
I want to watch
今
it
回
now.
ナレーションはほぼエメット・セルクですね、理由があるからなんですけど、まあ言わないでおきましょう、当然。
Come on now.
And yeah, it's very much like a movie trailer here, but the narration, as you may have surmised, is Emmett Selk. Of course, there's the reason behind it, but right now we will not divulge on that secret.
Oh, they're sneaky. They still keeping stuff from you.
まあ今回ね、エンドウォーカーということで、
There you go, Bruno.
終わりに向かって
I will be. I put it in my to-do list to watch it.
完
So
全14の終わりってことではない。まあそれは本当プレイしていただければと思うんですけど、まあ歩むっていうところが結構
actually, while I'm here,
And of course, with the title being Endwalker, we're walking towards the end. Mind you, not the end of FF14, and I'm sure it'll be very evident as we play through. But I think we want to place emphasis on that walking towards
there. It's also on. It's also live on Twitter. I'm sharing it. I'm not looking at it.
looking at this all. It's very unclear at this moment. Everything is just happening.
曲の転調はこだわり、そして
Oh, they're destroying it, Daggett.
みたいなね。不穏っていう。
No, I'm good, thank you. Give a bite to him.
Of course, we have the change in song, and then kind of hinting at that. the
Doesn't
world
even
story
want
has
to eat it.
ominous feeling.
My dog is bugging my daughter for a piece of carrot, and he doesn't like them. He still wants it, to at least sniff it. Dogs, man.
まあ今回これでもネタバレが
The music is
あらゆ
great.
るシーンがネタバレすぎてすげえ苦労したんですよ。
It's also cool to just get the music.
Yeah, this was quite a challenge because any part of the story can be spoiled very easily. So it was very difficult to navigate through that.
多分何もわからないです。多分これだと。
And so just looking at the pictures right now might not reveal anything at this time.
What's OST?
PV だとなんだ。
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
もっとこうハイライトをこうすげえとこバン出すと思うんだけど。
Very fair. I pre-ordered it. Although the money still never
Compared
came off
with,
my credit card.
Typical trailers, you would have like scenes where you wanted to highlight like
The
very-
shoulders, the head down,
on
the
certain scenes, but
tears.
everything
Like,
would be spoilers. So I was like, no, can't have that.
I'm going to be making a video on just that, and I promise you that's 99% of what's going to be mentioned, Daggett, because it blows my mind. The sincerity of it.
フィラーレを迎える準
Oh,
備
the
が
soundtrack. Got you. Thank you, Fall, of all people.
お前らだっただろうっていう、
辛い。
ね、セルフツッコミになってしまって。
But yeah, I pre-ordered.
We have the quote that, "Are you ready to face your finale?" or something along those lines, and it was us who could not.
Oh,
prepare
that's so
in
cool,
time.
Bruno.
I do have to kind of push fun at that myself, but
いやまあ正直変えようと思ったんですよ。
I pre-ordered the game, and it never came out of my credit card. The money, I'm the type of person
I
who
honestly thought that I wanted to change
dollar for dollar
this.
plans everything in my account. It's got a spot like it. There's
キャッチコピ
20
ーって毎回
for
僕が自分で
gas, 100 for food. I'm making those numbers up, but that's how I have everything divided. And I still have the money for Final Fantasy
言われ
XIV
て嫌なことを
waiting there to pay out to my credit card. It still hasn't gone through.
思い出してもらいまし
It's kind of weird, but
And
I don't know.
you know,
That's
this
normal.
tagline at the end was something that I was torn on. I felt like maybe I should change this, but these taglines I actually come up with them myself, but
Aw.
it is meant to correspond with a tagline from A Realm Reborn, and so I decided I should not change it only because just to avoid
That's familiar
people
music.
kind of pointing out my failures.
た。さあ、まあでも正真正銘、9番から続いてきた1個目のハイデリン・ゾディアクサが星と命をね巡る物語、正真正銘全部、 ぶちまけますので、もう最大インパクトはもう間違いなくメインストーリーです。
I don't think so because they only made a decision last week.
Quite a finale, or it is the conclusion of Heidelin Zodiac Saga, the saga that revolves around the planet and life itself, and we tend to just give it our all. So I think the biggest impact that we will be making with this expansion is definitely the main scenario.
さて、多言語の皆さんもそれぞれ国語でトレーラーご確認できましたかね、
So hopefully people were able to
It's
look at
actually
the trailer
the opposite.
in your respective languages.
It's interesting that it's actually a poor financial decision to push. You know what I mean? Usually it's either like it's massive stuff that's going. Like, this is incredible. I got lots of thoughts on the delay. All positive, but still, like, so impressed with how this has come to pass.
Taking up a lot of time at the
I got it
front,
on Twitter. Hold on.
We're going to continue with our programming.
さあ暑いんですよ今日。
そうですね。前回第66回前回ではジョブとバトル関連をメインにフォーカスしましたけれども、今日67回はですね。
Hold on, I think I clicked on something I shouldn't have. Ah, stop it, Twitter.
はい、いろいろありますのでどうぞご期待ください。
Alright, I fixed it.
So we last time at PLL66 we introduced mainly focused on job and battle contents, and then today we are focusing on various elements of the pattern.
That's the English version teaching.
New PvP contents.
New PvP, I'm very interested in that.
So please look forward to until the end. さあそれでは
はい、
参りましょう。
まず最初は
I'm on Twitter, by the way. Hi.
6.0
I'm actually very active on Twitter. Be right back. Go ahead. This is the chill
Just
stream.
wanted to do a quick recap of the 6.0 overview.
さあじゃあパワーポイントお願いします。
Okay.
はい、まず、
I'm glad I'm getting this because to me, a quick overview is new news, right? New city, new area, that's
We will be
normal.
implementing a new city and new areas.
ではトントンいきましょう。まず、プレイヤータウン、
I like
オールド
Twitter a lot,
シャ
to be
ーレア
honest.
になります。
As you can see here, this is Old Charlian.
メディアツアーでも出てましたが、アルフィノとアリゼの実家が、ございます。
And we mentioned about this during the media tour period, but this is sort of the hometown of Althano and Alizé.
まあいろんな秘密をね抱えて一心に抱えてきた、町でもあるので、まあここが今回物語の、中心軸になってもいきます。
And of course, they have sort of held a lot of secrets behind their gates, so to speak, and so it will be one of the central locations in the narrative.
まあファイナルファンタジー14は何度かお話ししてますけど、アルフィノとアリゼというか、まあルベユール家の物語でもあるので、そのあたりもしっかりフォーカスされ
It
て
is
ま
a
すので。
beautiful city. Like, say what you want. I like that alabaster wall
And
type
I
look.
think I touched upon this a few times before, but this does kind of revolve around not just Alphino and Alizé, but the Leveilleur family, kind of their story kind of ties into this location.
あ、なるほどね。アリゼは自分の嫁だと思ってる人が多いからあれなのか、実家にご挨拶に行かねばってなってるのか。なるほどね。
We were talking about how this is the hometown
That's awesome.
of Alphino and Alizé, and I was looking at the comments and seeing why people were saying, "Oh, I need to go pay my respects to their parents' home." And I get it now. A lot of you consider Alizé your waifu, so we need to go say hello to the parents, of course.
なるほどね。そうかそうか。だからあれか。
That's so
うちのお父さんって
funny.
呼んでるのか。
なるほどね。
How can I wait
That's
2
why
more
a lot of you were
weeks?
calling Portiono dad.
Oh man. The fact that this was mentioned and laughed and
じゃあもう一個
that is funny.
行ってみましょう。
another town?
こちらラザハンになります。サベネア島に、存在しております。
Rad's at
So
hand.
this is Rad's at hand. It is on the island of Thavenir.
こちらはですね、ここも
Oh,
また
good,
物語
Patrick.
上
Like
結構
this.
重要なことがいろいろ発生してくる、場所に
Oh
なってます。
man, that is so funny though.
And
Oh,
here too,
gotta go meet the
there are
parents
many
because she's my
important,
waifu. I'm like,
elements, that tie into the story that will
okay.
happen.
もちろんね、アルフィノをもらいに行くために実家に行くっていう人のコメントもちゃんと読んでますよ。
But of course, I have noticed people have mentioned that Alphino is a husbando, and so they need to go pay respects to the parents there. Too. I understand.
そしてですね、フィールドの方を見てみましょう。アビリンソス。
Unexpected is the least I
This is
can
one
say.
of the fields, the open fields, labyrinthos.
こちらはすでにお伝えした通り、なんとこう見えても地下でござ
Where
います。
cute Glam's come. Oh man,
And
Glam is
this
gonna be
has been mentioned
dangerous.
before, but despite its looks, this is actually underground.
Husbando.
何のその目的で作られてい
It's like
て、まあ各施設がどういう役割
Daughter
を
rolled
果
her
たしているのか
eyes
っていうのもちゃん
I
と
know.
綺麗に全部説明されますし、特にね物語序盤いろいろ立ち寄ることになってきますので。
And so we will go into what this purpose or what the purpose of this location is, or how these different facilities tie into this location in the narrative. And I think this will be a place where players will stop by fairly frequently towards the beginning of the narrative.
そして続いては、メディアツアーでも、皆さんねいろんなメディアの方、出していただきましたサベネア島になっています。
Oh yes, Calciano. That when that hype
And then
comes
next
back down to
is,
it.
Thavenir. I
Thavenir.
did notice that many of our media and influencers had touched upon this location coming from the media tour.
サベネア島に関してはですね、結構メディアツアーで動画も出していただいたんですけど、空の空気感、それから色とか抜け感とか相当こだわって調整しましたので、まあ、一通り物語が落ち着いたらですね、ぼーっと空を眺めていただいて大変綺麗に仕上がったと自負しておりますので、まあ、そのあたりにも落ち着いたらね注目していただけると嬉しいです。
And with Thavenir, we're just really impressed by how nice the sky came out. Just the coloring of the sky, just how it feels like it's infinitely like spacious. And so we're hoping that once players have gotten through the main scenario and they have some time to spare, just come visit Thavenir and just
Hey, it's
look
pink
at
blanket
just how
day.
magnificent the sky is. That's how confident we are in how this came out.
結構お気に入りポイント、僕のお気に入りポイントとしてはサベネア島からさっき紹介したラザハンを望む場所があるんですけど、そこはですねかなり本当フォグの感じ、色の感じ、相当こだわって調整しましたので、ぜひですねスクリーンショットポイントとして押さえていただけると嬉しいです。
Mm-hmm. It looks real.
And
It looks
one area that
perfectly
I
real.
personally like in this area is there's a location within Thavenir where you can actually look over into Razat-Han, sorry, where it's very beautiful and just how the fog and the coloring it extends in that area.
Yeah, it
is
looks like
something
you're
that we're
driving
very
down the highway and
particular
that's what you would
about
see in
when
the sky.
making the
It's really,
adjustments. So,
really
it would
good.
be a great scenic spot if you wanted to take some screenshots.
そして続いては
Ooh, a game where they specifically give you
さっきねトレーラー
advice
でもちらほら
on
出て
where
おり
to
ました
take screenshots. That's incredible.
Next
The
up is
culture gets me.
Garlemald.
We're
I've
going to
noticed it being,
Garlemald?
Showcased in the trailer a couple of times.
こちらはもうこれ以上何も喋れないぐらいになっていくんですけど、まあ本当9番からね11年
People are asking the big questions in
いろいろガレマー
chat.
ル帝国とはあり
Hildebrand.
ました。僕がチームに参加した時にはすでに存在してたので、
I will admit I am not very
Garlemald, I can't.
I'm
speak
not very
anything
perceptive.
or else I will go into spoiler territories.
Ah, see.
But this is a very an area that has been closely tied to Final Fantasy XIV since the original version, and throughout the 11 years, there's been a lot of conflict and involvement of the Garlean Empire. It was there before I even joined the team.
It's incredible that Garlemald looks so grotesque when they speak of it being the center of the world. Charlene, that looks beautiful. I'm not very perceptive to a lot of spoilers because I find that stuff goes way out of what I think will happen.
If you will still feel like you want to,
because Final Fantasy is Final Fantasy.
Once you start playing the main scenario, it is quite curious, but.
さあでは次行きましょう。
I knew we were going to the moon.
続いては嘆きの海です。向こうにね、惑星ハイデリンが見えてるということは、まあ月なのかしらと。
So this is Mare Lamentorium.
That is a beautiful aetherite.
In the distance, I think we can safely assume that this is probably the location on the moon.
Ah, see, peeps ain't too stupid. They do, and then they go in a way you never ever expected. Like I didn't meet Yugiri and think that I would be
just looking at a screenshot
going through that. You know what I mean?
Allows for people to just wonder and start speculating. So I think I'll just leave it up to your.
That castle on the moon is beautiful. A sucker for gold. They make good onions, all right. Oh. Question mark. Okay, gotcha.
Next is very secretive. We have not disclosed the name of this location yet, and as you can see, this is the concept art, or like the drawn illustration art, and not a screenshot. Our community team.
Oh, they'll all mess with me. I gotta play a 4 before 15 though.
To avoid any sort of like spoilerish material, but it was just.
Oh my god.
Challenge. I'm afraid I had to reject most of their proposals and ask them to just stick with the illustration art for the PLL. So.
さあでは、まあ他にもねマップあるんですけど、もうこれ以上はもう何も出せないので、次行きましょう。
Okay, there are several other maps that exist in Endwalker, but again, I'm unable to show them to you right now. So
I have the DS game. Yes, Paul, I didn't know it was you that was saying that. Yes, I have the DS game. I might stream it. I'm still not quite sure, so we'll see. Obviously, we're getting more MSQ.
The main scenario quest is going to be one of the biggest selling points, so to speak, for Endwalker.
Oh, thank you, teaching. I've got more coming. I've got, I think, 3 or 4 more Stormblood videos on the.
Let's go ahead and
on
do
it.
a brief recap of the key characters.
Has to be 4. Gotcha. Well, it's either I'm gonna buy the Pixels version, or I'll play the DS version, which I do have. If I want to stream it, I will buy it. That's how it's kind of looking like.
Man, Thancred has come along a long
Dad Crid!
way.
He looks
Considering
good
those
like that.
who
Like,
know
we
about
were
him
discussing that
from
in
the original
Shadowbringers.
Final Fantasy XIV, he has come a long way and he's grown.
Okay. We're here. So
I mean, he was just, man, he was like a player, like the only
a player.
quality of him was just he's really great at picking up women, but to think that he has grown to be one of the leading forces within the Scions, it's just very impressive.
It is too hard. Yeah, but I've got my husband who, like, is the kind of guy who could probably speedrun it, so I'm sure I'll make it.
さあそして続いて、我らが暁のついにね
シトラ
になりましたシトラでございます。
And of course, Yashtola, the mage in our
Oh.
Scions.
You like Thancred, do you?
まあやっぱり
I like how his character grew. I'm very, very impressed with his growth.
ことを目的というかね、自分の生きる術にしているヤシトラなので、今回いろんな世界の真実に触れていく中で、
I don't.
もちろんヤシトラも活躍してくれます。もう非常に難しいことを我々に優しく解
There are
説
some things that I just
魔女でもあるので
for everyone, right? There is something there for everyone. Like Sadu,
thirst of knowledge, and she continues to learn and tries
Raban,
to pursue the
Hide now.
The truth behind various mysteries within this world. And she's wonderful because she explains these difficult concepts in such easy to grasp language.
Okay.
So, she's also going to be a key player in the narrative.
Spoilers incoming.
みんなママとかマミーとか言ってますけど、僕は一言も言ってないですからね。
ひどい目に遭います。
デスペアでやってますよ、そんな言ったら。
If the spoilers are Urioge becomes hot.
Mama or mommy, and you know, I have never said that about her. I won't be responsible if Yoshitola comes after you.
そして続いては、ウリエンジェです。ウリエンジェもちょっとやっぱ格別の思い入れがあって、Q14 で第7零細編というシナリオをやっていく中でですね、急遽怪しい人が出現してシャウトする役として作られたキャラだったんで、すごい思い入れがあります。
Okay, we're gonna put it on mute for a minute. I am gonna put some music on just to. Oh fuck! What do I have for music? Hold on. Shadowbringers. Go to Shadowbringers. Here we go. While waiting. So let me know. I cannot not on YouTube. This will get demonetized so quick. So this is actually my favorite song on the album, other than the actual section. Okay, let me know when the character goes by, and then we're good to go. I just like the song. I didn't know what it was when I fell in love with the songs. I'd listened to this whole album while I'm studying. And this is the one I fell in love with quickly. I've had this one on repeat for a long time. Or when I'm editing videos. When I'm editing videos, this is the other one I listen to. I take a lot of time to edit some videos. Now that part right there gets me like every time. Alfino, mon garçon, my boy. Bum, bum, ba, da. No, I don't. Y'all cryptic. Y'all cryptic. Hello, Chris. It's in intermission. No, what does Zali say? We're in intermission because I guess there's some spoiler characters coming, so chat has asked me to take her down and mute it. So I put music on because I did have, let me see. I've got 1, 2, 3 more Stormblood lore videos coming. I know. Possibly a 4th if I can make it work. And then a couple more that are less lore faced. So like 6. Oh, Jesus Christ, man. I liked Stormblood. Yeah, I've got a lot of stuff coming. Like a lot in the pipeline. It's okay. All good. We're looking at the hero of light. We already knew that. That's like so easy to data mine. So we knew Tataru. She may not. She's not. I don't think she's the end game, but I think she will conquer it. She walks in as the true warrior of light of darkness. Oh no, Quentin. Well, I appreciate you trying, truly. For one, it's never necessary, but I think it works best on PC and on Android. Because fuck Apple, right? I'm kidding. I use an iPhone for everything. I'm a big fan of Apple products. So. And yes, I'm the person that will say, I will transfer tech, quality of tech, for ease of use and guaranteed good products. That's how I feel. We're gonna get in a debate about Samsung versus iPhone. I've never had a Samsung that's worked without issue. And all the like, oh my goodness, it's so much better. It has this tech. And you're like, cool. Do you use it? Didn't think so. You know what I mean? So that's kind of my attitude towards it. Same thing soon. I should be getting my lighting. I'm thinking either mid to end of December. I should have my light, unless there's a big Black Friday sale. So there's going to be a huge bump in quality to the stream. Or, depending on the Black Friday sales, we might be getting a real camera. So, those are the two things coming in the next, let's say, 6 months. Like, where things are just gonna go from like bam to bam. Can't wait for that. Welcome to the Peeberific Potatoes. Which is the best name ever. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate that. Again, everyone, it is never necessary. It helps the stream and gives you access to emotes. There is zero... Really? This unsettling song? Damn it. There's never content hidden behind the paywall because we're gamers and we know what that shit's like. I'm out of energy drink. It goes downhill from here. I'm kidding. I have some Sprite Zero, so what's next? Oh wait, first spoiler character now. No thank you. I bought snacks for this. Cheez-Its and no, I'm good, thank you. Into spoiler territory. Alright. Down. This is the creepiest song. It is made to feel nervous, to get you on edge. Still keep it upbeat, which makes it worse. The real Maxwell Silver Hammer effect. Because it's meant to be upbeat, but creepy. And it's evil, because you know evil shit's going on the screen. That was a monster that we just finished. I also took a 2-hour nap. Okay, listen. Gotta at least look at her. Look how cute you are! You're so sweet. Okay, I'll put it back down now. We are past the spoiler character. Alright, let's get rid of this creepy music. Yeah. Tataroo. My girl. She's perfect.
Yeah, she does have this sort of determined look in her posture and her stance.
ゾディアークの核としてね、エリディブスが抜け落ちてたからさ、あそこにね、スッてはまっていく可能性もね、恐ろしい。
I mean, with
I can handle semi, because again, I'm not very... If this was Warcraft, I could put 1 + 1 + 1 = 3, and I got you, baby, and I'm 75% right half the time. This, I can't connect it. I'm just here for the ride. I am now just a regular watcher.
In the comments, in
past the big one.
Like voice writing, oh, I will go in.
さあ次行きましょう。
Okay, bring on.
そしてですね、
I love her so much.
まあバルデーション委員会の一員なので、当然そのシャーレアンに滞在するときにね、クルルが中心になっていろんなことが動いていくと思います。非常に今回重要な
You know what the Krill does for me?
She... This Kryl, of course, one of the students of Valdecian. Kryl is definitely a very important character, especially when you are in that old Charlian area.
That's awesome.
まああんまり
But what I like about her and a lot of the suits that people wear, you see the stitching.
はしてくれますので、
it's such a
ぜひ
small detail, and I really like
活
that.
躍にもご期待いただければと思います。
I'm not reading
Of
too
course, I
much.
can't
I'm doing it on
divulge into
purpose.
the details, but again,
Thanks
she's
for the
also a very
subscription. Welcome
important
aboard.
character, amongst our key players. So, again, I hope we look forward to her appearance as well.
Oh yes, speculate
まあ
away.
言うてね
That's the fun
次
part.
に紹介す
And
るこのエスティニアンを
it feels good to be wrong about this
暁に絡め取
game.
ったのはタタルとクルルですからね。
It feels good to know
And I
that
do want to
they
emphasize,
are
we're
a
going to
step
be talking
ahead
about
of
this
you,
in
and you're
next,
like,
but
you're
it
not
was
even
Kyle
close.
and
I'm sure you guys are watching my
convinced him
streams
to
going,
join the Scion.
Daddy!
ある意味で
いうの
もう絡め
He's
取られる
no more husbando. He's daddy. He's here to save us. He's here to protect.
Entangling
He
him
attack, he
into the
protect.
Scion.
He stabby
It's
stab.
quite a talent.
まあ元青の竜騎士でイシュガルドを出
I've never
奔
played
した
Final
ので、
Fantasy V.
まあ無職っていうの
I've
ね
played 3/6.
暁って就職
I've
させ
played
ら
a
れ
little
た
bit
どう
of
かってい
3
うね。
and a lot of 6. I've played 7. I've
Of
played
course, the
10. I've
former
played
Azure
13.
Dragon, Dragoon, and he's, I guess, unemployed at this point.
Unemployed.
Is the Scions of the Seventh Dawn a job placement? Well, I mean, yeah, I guess.
He's now a Scion.
まあそのまあ
Make it
その
so. Get him a white.
とともにですね
Get him
今回
white Dragoon
大活躍
armor.
してくれます。彼の生き様っていうのも今回のストーリー上非常に重要なね役割を果たしますので、ぜひご注目ください。ファンも多いですしね。
And of course, he will be joining the fray.
Yes, it is.
And he will have his moment.
It's coming out in a couple weeks, or a week or so.
And I know there's a lot of fans of Estinian, so he's another very
Estinian.
important character in the narrative as well.
はい。そして続いては
Oh,
こ
the
ちら
cup. Yeah, I'm not angry about that.
皆さんの
Son of a bitch. We can't kill this
ゼ
guy.
ノスでございます。
To be fair, there's
Our
now 2 of them. Even if we
self-proclaimed
kill
best
one.
friend of our protagonists, Zenos.
Oh, and pre-looking at Xenos, I already knew he was a Reaper. And that's kind of how or why we got a Reaper, and he was like the show of a
刀
Reaper.
を捨て
So I knew this. It was a little...
アイスを
It's not
使い
spoiled. Like, I'm not
今回は
losing
リーパーとして
sleep over knowing that.
登場します。
I won't be going into details with this guy, but as you
I
may
won't be
remember,
going
he has
into
sort of
details.
let go of his katana sword and instead took up the scythe, and he will be appearing as a reaper.
Of course.
勝手にフレンドリストに入ってる。
Yeah, so now that there's 2 of these bastards out there,
I love the comments.
I figured he's alive.
Somebody mentioned Xenos had go ahead and friended himself without my acknowledgement.
Sounds about right.
さあ、そしてトレーラーにも登場しておりました、こちらの女性です。
And then
Beautiful
next,
character.
we
No
saw
idea
her
who this
briefly
is.
In the trailer, Our Lady of the Light.
Was
大変
Dark
重
Knight.
要なキャラクターでござい
I
ま
kind
す。
of like... I don't know. I like
Of
how
course, she
it's
is
built.
also a very important character in the story.
そもそもだってなんか胸元にね、
All good.
マスク下げとるやん。
She tells me nothing.
Yeah, and if you look closely, like she has this mask hanging by her chest.
It's a beautiful mask.
まあね、英語名レディー・オブ・ザ・ライト。
I haven't seen her yet, so
名前がやばいよ。
no clue.
Just this name seems to imply things. Gosh.
さあ、どうい
See what I mean? Like I don't want to say I'm dense because I'm not stupid, but they've got me so well done that I have.
Another point to be looking out for. What is her involvement with our Warriors of Light?
Friendeth of idiocy.
あ、確かにね。
Oh no!
リアクション LOL か。
Abbreviated, it's LOL.
Really? That's what they're saying?
今回メインストーリー
Abbreviated
いろいろ
LOL
新しい、遊びというか、システム実装されております。その一幕をちょっと、スクリーンショットで見てみましょう。
So we want to show you a screenshot here, which is a new sort of gameplay element or like a system that we're going to be implementing.
New system.
これは
今回遊びというかクエスト中の体験として、まあ、自動的にマウントに乗せてくれて NPC と一緒にこうフライングして移動したりとかそういうのもあるんですけど、NPC 連れ歩きっていうのが、クエストの新しい遊びとしてできてて、とあるシーケンス中例えばこの今スクリーンショットだとアルフィノとアリゼが一緒にこうプレイヤーの皆さんとこう行動して、途中に行って会話をこうしたりとか、目的地まで一緒に行ってみたいなことがあったりします。
Fair,
so this is
very fair.
A gameplay element that will be implemented while your player character is going on various quests. And these characters in some situations can board your mount and you can take them with you, but basically you have your NPCs kind of following along behind you in certain sequences. So for example, in this screenshot you see Alphino and Alize kind of
Can you imagine?
behind you. They would have conversations and whatnot.
Can you imagine? You stand in your regalia because you're a potato and you're adorable. You look at Ali saying, "Oh, get in. We're gonna go fuck shit up."
Somebody was asking, can you take these NPCs to like somewhere that's completely off objective? And the answer is, if you go too far off track, they will return to whatever position that they need to be in.
ああ。
まあいろんなキャラクターとこのシチュエーションがあったりするので、まあもちろんストーリー
The Dragon Age party banter. Yes, I played a little bit of that. Not much, but it was pretty good.
そのシナリオのシチュエーションによっては。
Yeah, I'm telling you, we're gonna just get the car and we're gonna fuck shit up. It's gonna be great.
And of course, it is very RPG-like, but there will be situations with other characters like this, and it's part of the story, like it's required, or it's an essential part
No robot
of
for me,
the narrative. So it's not like you can select your characters at will. It is going to be part of the story. For example, you're trying to get to a certain place and the characters need to go there with you, so you will be going to that destination together.
確かこのモード
Had me at distraction.
グルポがちゃんと移動できるように頑張って作ってたような気がするのでまあなんか雰囲気ある SS とかは取れるんじゃないかなとは。まあただ世界に終末が迫ってるんで忘れないようにね。
That being said, I believe that the team is going to make it available that you can take screenshots or like go into G-pose.
I mean, mine just certainly doesn't.
Situation. So you might be able to get some nice shots while you're on some of these quests. That being said, we are trying to save the world here from impending doom, so please remember that.
We are trying to save the world from impending doom. Remember that. That's the message we just got, guys. Yeah, I'm not the only one who found Gaius handsome. Someone there went nuts.
There are other elements tied to the different quests that are going to be implemented to enhance the player's experience.
Yeah, I think it's great, and you can like get some good G poses out of it. Like, hey, there's me and my bestie.
Elements that will be implemented as of 6.0.
Roll quests, obviously. This was supposed to be the short. Okay, we're going back to the tank, healer, melee, physical, magic. Got it.
So first of all is new role quests. As previously mentioned, there are going to be 5 quest lines. As you can see, tank, healer, melee.
Right, Bluff? Blue Wolf? Yes. Sorry. Right? He looks like he needs one. Extra quests if you get all 5. Okay. If you do all 4. See, yeah, you just said it. Nailed it.
Extra quests for completing all 5 quest lines will be added in 6.1 or later.
なのでパッチ 6.0 中にですね、いろんなジョブのレベリングをね、していただいて、
それ means
それぞれのロールクエスト
I've got a level of physical ranged too. What's physical
We hope the
ranged?
players would take the opportunity to
Hold on,
level
let's
the
Google
other
it.
jobs during that 6.0 time frame so that you can take on the different role quests.
今回漆黒のヴィランズはメインストーリー中必ずどれかのロールクエストをやらないと先へ進まない状態にしてあったんですけど、今回はメインシナリオのクリア条件には含まれてないんですけど、並行してやっていただいた方が
I got a level 30 bird because I wanted to unlock performance.
ちゃんと動線上に置いてあるので、
Dancer looks fun. It's just I don't know.
もらえると嬉しいです。
All three are uniquely fun, even better.
And previously with Shadowbringers, we made it so that you had to have completed at least one role quest in order to clear or like complete the main scenario quests. But this time we're not making it mandatory.
So not mandatory.
Do the role quest in order to finish the MSQs. But that being said, it is interesting, and I think it's fun to kind of progress in the role quests as you go through the main scenario as well. So we try to place it so that it kind of follows along
Very
the
fair.
path that you would take to get through the main scenario. So hopefully people will
I
try
liked
to
the hunting
play
logs. I
that
really did.
alongside your main scenario.
Oh, nice. You got both.
そしてですね、これ結構質問いただいたので、一応答えしておくと、今回はレベル90のジョブクエストっていうのはないので、一旦僕らとしては前回のそのレベル80の、各ジョブクエストで、一連の申請からやってきたジョブクエストっていうのは一旦物語としては
And you're gonna be getting a chainsaw.
And it's noted here that
No, they're not gonna be
and plus
mandatory.
we've been,
I just
asked
wrote that
about
down.
this. We will not have a level 90 job quest, so the level 80 quest as of Shadowbringers kind of concludes the
Yeah,
storyline
you're right,
of your
Kristen. I mean, the
particular
stories
job
were
and
good,
the
don't get me
different
wrong.
job quests that you have been undertaking, and it should have reached their conclusions as of level 80.
でまたジョブに関わるストーリーをやるとしたら新しいキャラとかでやる機会はあるかなとは思いますけど、もうね話がねキャラ絡まりすぎてるんだけど、非化線が強くなりすぎてねちょっと
Blitzball. Listen, someone in chat said Blitzball. Delete. Block. No Blitzball.
And if we were to resume or have another quest line that involves the different jobs, I think we might have a different character sort of drive each of the job stories to start like a new quest or like a new saga, because
A new saga.
there are just so many characters that intertwined with each other with our existing job quests that
No Blitzball.
it's not only is it entangled, but our warriors of light have become very, very powerful, and so the story doesn't make sense if we continue to just move on with the same existing.
Yeah, and I get
narrative.
that,
And
Pocky,
so
absolutely.
That's why we decided that level 80 would kind of be our conclusion at this time.
I like the stories, but you're right. When you're missing your top spell, it's a big deal. Stadium. Studium. What's Studium? Interested.
So this will be more for our Disciples of the Hand, Disciples of the Land, which is the Studium deliveries.
ごめん、開けちゃっていいよ、パワーポイントその解説の。
Oh, you're getting quest lines.
食べたら
Cool.
読んでいただくんで。こちらクラフターギャザラー向けの、レベリングとストーリーが、一つになっているので、このシャーレアにある魔法大学を中心に、
I'm afraid to touch this side of the
進んで
game.
いきます。
So this kind of acts as your means to level, as well as sort of explore the story behind each of the different crafter and gatherers, and it takes place around the studium, and the story revolves around that.
一部味が気になるという噂の天神パンにねまつわるお話ももちろん用意してございますので、興味ある方はぜひ。
Man, I tried to skip that part so bad in Final Fantasy X.
I'm sure some of you were very curious about 味が気になる. Can I literally translate? We're curious as to how the taste comes out. I guess it's a culinarian thing. Yeah, the curious conclusion will hopefully be revealed through these deliveries.
そしてですね、こちらはですね、パッチ 6.0 の時点で、
And an extra
魔法
quest.
大学取引の
Nice.
全クエストコンプリートでエクストラクエスト用意してございますので、
I am so scared to do any of the disciples of Hand and of Land because we know that's a rabbit hole that I'm not coming out of, not alive.
And of course, with our disciples of the land in hand, as of 6.0, we will have, or I'm sorry, if you clear all of the quests.
Look at the
that are
amount of
available,
content.
We do have
You have to
an
level
extra quest
everything.
available as well.
Get a bunch
So
of
we
quests
hope
on top of that,
those
and if you
can
do all
be
that, we'll give you more.
それでは続きいきましょう。
はい。
ダンジョンも多数ございます。
Crafting streams, let's go.
で見ていきましょう。どうぞ。
Listen, I got like lots of stuff coming.
Screenshot.
Tentacles!
もう何も
Spiky tentacles. Don't like that.
Again, I cannot make any false moves with commenting on these.
でしょう。That's my guess.
ちょっと次も。
Consumed a lot of my time. Oh, that's pretty.
これ燃えてる森なだけじゃんって言われると思うんですけど、ここ以外取れなかった。
That's sweet.
And I'm sure you're looking at this and thinking to yourself, but it's just a forest and it's on fire. And I know that's about the only safe.
Oh, I'm down to do that for a stream. Like, right now we're getting through MSQ, and there's going to be all kinds of different streams coming. Like, I've got a lot planned. Pretty and on fire.
こんなとこもあります。
Pretty and frozen. Fuck that place.
Here's another location.
Here's another location.
あら、何も言えない。
Repair your own gear.
Comment.
And someone said I could make glamour prisms, so there's two big
なんだね
reasons for
なん
me.
か左にオーラみたいなの立ってるその向こうなんかよくわかんない何これみたいな。
Mindless is good.
And just so many questions. Just what is that aura looking thing on the left? And is that some kind of structure on the right?
Right?
ここに行く頃にはみんなびっくり仰天して。
Oh, it's incredible the amount of actual gameplay that
I'm
I've
sure
got.
people are going to be met
Just
with surprise once you get to this
Raids
point.
and stuff, let alone like unlocking stuff, let alone leveling stuff. Like, there's the more I play, the more I want to play.
もうダンジョン
I mean, that's obviously Garlean of some sort.
For a dungeon.
ここに突入するときはもうまあえらい
同じことして
えらい人数で行くんですよここ。
あ、ほうほうほう。なるほど。
This is going to be a dungeon that you go into with quite a large group, actually.
Quite a large group,
そ
huh?
れに沿ったこう
Quite a large group, huh?
きめ細やかな
Like a raid?
キャラクター制御みたいなのも見ていただけるとちょっと嬉しいですね。はい。
But it's very interesting because once you do go
Wants to
into
spoil
there, we
stuff at the
have
same time he doesn't.
applied a lot of character control.
Yeah, I have coils that I'll be working on very shortly because I've now got people that want to do it.
Very specific.
Alex,
in
I'm
that
halfway
area that
through.
really
Omega, I just haven't
complements,
touched yet. Not gonna lie.
The activity that's going on in there. So
そして続いては
So we got some fun coming. New trials,
新たな
obviously.
討伐討滅戦なんですけど、まあ
To me, the trials are the best. Like, I love.
of course, our new trials is still a secret.
知ってた。
もうなんも言えない。まあノーマルとハード両方ちゃんとありますっていうのだけ。
なるほど。
Just wanted to point out, though, of course, we will have a normal and hard mode for these.
なので
Alright.
ぜひですね。
So keep watching. Keep that. I'm gonna keep my headphones on. I'm gonna go to the washroom real quick. Remember, this is a chiller stream. We can walk in and out. It's a little bit easier.
We encourage you to go back.
So
and try
bear
and
with me. I'm gonna
hard
turn my camera off because y'all don't want to see me walk away. And I'm gonna turn my mic off because you don't hear me scuttle. But please keep enjoying. I'll be right back about 2 minutes.
I see people commenting, Tataru extreme.
タタル EX 結構書いてる人ですね。海外。
多いですね。タタルタル EX。タタルアルティメットもあります。
Ultimate.
そうね。アルティメットタタル強そうだ。やっぱ日本では絶大なリットアティンさん人気ですよね。
確かにそうですね。
The Japanese viewers out there are commenting Camp Westwind. Mr. Ritterton.
そんなリッターティーさんのことを笑っていられるのも今のうちは今後リッターティーさんいろいろ調整するからな。
なるほど。
You know, you can't knock on Camp Westwind here. With the different adjustments that are coming in.
さあ、次行きましょう。
はい。
新たな高難易度レイドです。こちら、バンマネンパンデモニウム天国編という名前になりますが、6.01 でノーマル解放、6.05 で、霊式解放となります。
And then next up is new raid dungeon, Pandemonium Asphodelus. Asphodelus. As of patch 6.01, the normal raid will open up, and then 6.05 will be when the Savage goes up.
まあ、
はい。
せっかくだし、どうしようかな。ちらっとだけ見てみるそのパンデモニウム。ちょっと待ってね。
So since we're here, would y'all like to take a sneak peek at Pandemonium? Just a little.
私からはもう気をつけてくださいとしか言いようがないですね。はい。
ガチ切れされるからな。待ってよ。全然ダメだよまだ。全然ダメだよまだ。
危ない。先ほどスケジュールでもご紹介した通り、ノーマル編がサービス開始から2週間後で、さらにその2週間後、サービス開始から4週間後に霊式となります。As we mentioned before, the normal version of Pandemonium will be implemented after 2 weeks after the launch, and then the Savage mode will be after 4 weeks of the launch.
I back. Hold on.
一応大丈夫なはず。これで。
Tattoo Extreme. I love it.
ちらっと出してみるか。まず。
はい。じゃあ PC お願いします。
Oh.
なんだか
Macabre, creepy. Love it.
Unique BGM.
Oh, I like that already.
I can understand.
Listen to the music.
吉田さん moves camera very slowly. ね、カメラゆっくり回したくなるんです。
He's got the look. He's got a little peeps.
遅くなります。
Crazy.
Little pigtails.
Slowly and carefully.
まあどうやらここがパンデモニウムという場所ら
Look
しい。
at the structures. That's Pandemonium?
This is the Pandemonium location.
何がねあの中に多分ね前パンデモニウム本体の前庭というかゲートなんだと思う。
It's very curious what is inside. We started out from the sort of courtyard in front of the central part.
Listen, it's not my fault, Pocky. I just chose well.
はい。まあ驚きの展開とねキャラクターとともにここを突き進んでいくことになるんですけど、
Look.
果たしてどんな出会いやらが
Hi,
ある
Puppy.
のかを
He's just craving
ぜひですね。
attention. It's usually bedtime for him. Not sure why
そう
he's.
来たかって言ってもらいたい。
Oh, it's because he got kicked out of the room.
But yeah, we are planning for something that is very surprising here and the characters that appear. But I hope people look out for what kind of encounter, and just I'm really excited and hopeful that people will be so surprised and be like, oh, that's what you wanted to do.
今日はここまで。
そうでしょうね。
That's all I can say.
ありがとうございます。Thank you very
That's
much.
so cute.
ではパワーポイントに戻りましょう。
He's excited about it. He wants to show you the work he did.
はい。Let's go back to PowerPoint.
Tuna's Meteor.
そして続いてです。
はい。
こちらはですね、
New treasure dungeon. Treasure
ト
dungeon.
レ
What's a treasure
ジャーハン
dungeon?
トダンジョン、ご用意しております。こちらですね、パッチ、6.05、皆さんがメインシナリオ終わって霊式が開放するのと同時に、
はい、
カジュアルにプレイされている皆さんは霊式あまり行かないと思うので、こちら出しちゃって大丈夫ですよ。はい。
Excitatron.
So new treasure dungeon. So this is intended for whenever you're done with the main scenario quests, and it will be implemented at the same timing or the same patch 6.05 when the savage raids will open up. There may be players out there who don't necessarily go to the savage raids, so it's content that will be available at the same time.
まあ、こちらもですね、一応スクリーンショットご用意はしてあります。どうぞ。
So this is a screenshot from that area.
お前らもうちょっとマシなスクリーンショット用意できないのかと思うかもしれないですけど、これま
It
た
sounds
周りが映
remote,
せない
very
どう
sexual,
しようもなかった床だけしか無理だ。
but very pretty.
And I'm sure viewers out there are wondering, well, what the hell is this? And I have to warn you, like, this is the only safe location. Like, I didn't want to include anything that was in the surrounding area, so it ended up we just pointed the camera at the floor.
カメラを引くな。
そうです
Don't
ね。
take what you shot.
まあざっと、以上となります。ちょっとね発売は2週間ネット予定よりはずれますが
Everything is a spoiler. Someone just said that in chat, and I'm like, yes.
皆さんのプレイをサポートし、マスタリングをねしっかりやって
はい
サポートしていきますので、ぜひお楽しみください。
But yeah, that kind of covers the general items that are implemented as of the expansion pack and the following patches. We will be continue to work on, of course, mastering.
Oh, place
finishing
is
the
a
master
walking
build,
spoiler. Please
as
look at
well
the floor.
as,
Yeah,
continuing to
bury
support
that.
for players with our expansion, and so just a little bit more time, but we look forward to players joining us once this becomes available.
さあでは一回この後、まあ、PVP のお話とか、
そうなんです。
ギャザラーとかクラフターとかその他もろもろのシステムとか、土地だの家だのいっぱいあるんですけど、一回休憩取ろうかなと思います。
そうですね。
ダメ？
いや、いいです。そうなんです。
Look at their facial language. Look at their body language. Yoshi's excited to show us everything.
ガチ休憩。時間的にはガチ休憩で一回いいんですけど。
まあ45分ぐらいまで
This shows
10分休憩。
10分休憩にしましょう。
very much that, Philip.
We were
Very
discussing
much
about,
that.
there's still a lot of content we wanted to cover. PvP, DOH, DOL.
PvP is my
land,
interest because that's something that
but I think we would like to take a break.
with the new customer
A
base,
10-minute break.
be very interested.
お供はいいんじゃないの？長引いたからの休憩なので。
Hildebrandt! Everyone's asking for Hildy!
And we won't have any sort of like video in between. This is just because we took a little time in the beginning and just wanted to take a break for everyone. So
Okay, so everyone, I'm inviting you to take a break. I just went to the washroom. I feel pretty good right now. I'm in good shape, so I'm good.
12時45分再開としたいと思います。So we are taking a 10 minutes break.
Plus, I have Fall here, so if I need something, she can go get it.
45 in Japan time.
She's up past her bedtime, but she was actually she's been excited to come here and be part of this, so. She's not even moderating. She's just excited to, be part of it. It's kind of cute, not gonna lie. Everyone's got white hair. Except Kitty Man. Daggett, that's a big thing, but it's also... PvP in other games are ranked events. They are ranked. It's good esports. It's good. I don't even know what a spoiler is in this section. Except Tataru not being pink. Offended. Offended. This image contains spoilers. See, I don't even know the thing of the spoilers. What is and what isn't. But anyway, long story short, we have events winners. Oh, that's pretty awesome. I didn't know that. I guess that's part of the problem. Is it's either not well put out. But yeah, people that are coming, and listen, I can only speak for Warcraft, and I'm sorry to keep bringing them up. It's the only experience that I got. Warcraft is a game that is very, very play-centric, story 4th, 5th, 6th. And a lot of people really enjoy that. The people that do like Warcraft tend to like that kind of stuff. My husband's on that list because he's the kind of guy who power leveled through destroying stuff. Storylines were whatever. He'd ask me about it later because he's an ass. I'm kidding. I love him. And then he would PvP his ass off. He loved PvP. So with the very large shift in the player base, I'm glad that they're thinking of PvP and how its direction's going to go. I believe that's where it is. Got it. You know, Rich, I'm not against esports, but it does take away from the magic of Final Fantasy XIV being a no stress, enjoy the game, try hard at savages, and yeah, try hard at PvP, but you know what I mean? Where it's the base game. There's no extras. There's no, you need to do it the way we said you had to. So it's good that they include it. And it's also good. I've heard Yoshi P say that PvP is a product of the game, but it's something that's not as popular because there's so much else. MSQ is huge. Storylines are huge. Like, there's just so much in game that it's hard to focus on it. Where in other games, it's usually one of 3 venues. Oh, exactly. Listen, I am happy that the add-on culture isn't here. I am happy that no one pushes. Listen, there was a time, and I'm going to be very honest about even my own attitude, that if I was running rated battlegrounds, which is, this happened, if you didn't have the Healers Must Die, and what was the other add-on? Fuck. The battle frames. You weren't coming. Just no. No. Man, what was it? Gladius. Was it Gladius? Point is that you needed 2 add-ons for me to accept you into the group, regardless of skill. I didn't even look at your skill. I didn't look at your ratings. I asked you what add-ons you had before you even walked in. I can't see through my glasses. Bear with me. I'll fix that. You know what I mean? Before a raid, and this is in Cataclysm, okay? Then feed him. The other thing is, like, in raiding, I can remember looking at someone's gear before inviting them to raid and checking all their enchants, checking all their gems, checking everything. Did they have deadly boss mods? Because if you didn't, well, guess where you're not coming. And 1, I was not aware of a world that didn't exist, but 2, it was dismissive, and I was wrong for doing it. My attitude's changed over the years, and I admit that. But at the time, it felt necessary, and that culture being so different now is everything to me. I don't want to lose that culture. I'm enjoying playing a game to play it because I like it, and trying hard to beat a boss. There are some that is Christian. I mean, just like everything else, you can find an exception every rule. Like mount farming was a good example of stuff that I liked to do to chill. Or some of the my professions were all up. But the point is that Exactly. It must be serious. Does it? Dude, daggit, let me tell you a story. When someone told me what Blue Mage soccer was, I almost cried. They put a little pupato and they push it around. Ouch. It does, and to say it doesn't exist is also not true. But it's a lot less of it. Because again, there are people, and that's one thing that I had to admit to myself even in other games, is that there are people that find stuff like fishing all day fun and that's all they'll do. There are people who will min-max because they feel like making my character the best it can be is their favorite thing. And that's okay. Don't shove it into me. You know what I mean? Same thing like fishing. Don't shove your... fishing's not for me, then it's not for me. It doesn't affect my gameplay 100%. I just find that either the min-max community is less intrusive. Intrusive. Yeah, that's a good word, because it's easy to say, no, that's not part of my culture, and kind of move from it. It's optional, and it's 100% what you like. If I change the subject to Dungeons and Dragons and say there are players that like to pick the best class with the best stats possible, with the best backgrounds, they'll go from different expansion to different expansion to find the best subclass to it, pick the race that matches, and then know every language and be good at pretty much every role. And you're like, really, Queen? Really? That's not my fun. But I knew a guy that was his best part, was choosing his character and bringing it as best as he could. Exactly, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just my first time playing with, and I'm Dungeons and Dragons is the example here. First playing with someone like that was difficult, but the DM was good. The DM caught it quick. So stuff would happen to that person to mess those rolls. Like a Porsche, just little stuff like that to you know what I mean? He was really good, and I took a lot of examples from that DM. But the point is, that's what made them have fun, is how can I make it the best I can? And oh no, how do I overcome this challenge? Perfect. I guess it's more to broaden the horizon of what we consider as fun, or accept what is fun to me is not fun for someone else. Because again, I sit next to my husband, who has been avoiding playing Final Fantasy XIV because he doesn't like the MSQ. Thinks it's dumb. Not because the story's dumb. He's also an ARR. But he finds he doesn't do anything. He goes from place to place, talks to someone, place again. Which is fair. That's a fair comment if action is what you're looking for. You ain't fighting bad guys. So if that's what he's looking for, same idea. Where me, I want to know all the story. I want to dive in. I want to know what makes them tick. I want Adbert. I want to know more. His character's like unveiling itself to me, and I am loving it. The fact that we're going to be fighting his old party for Shadowbringers, for the for the class quests, I love it. I think it's great. Exactly. That's 100% what we should do, if I'm being perfectly honest. Actually, that's not a bad idea. We should boost him. And then if he wants other classes, he could level them the old-fashioned way. Fates, dungeons, quests. He would enjoy that more. He would. stories. Yes, I've actually, it's on my to-do list. I haven't touched him because I was afraid to. Kelsiana, my favorite players are, my favorite players, personally, are the players that are willing to omit stats because the idea for their character asks for it. If a paladin's, if a cleric's best stat is following one deity, but your character totally fell in love with this one, why not? That's so cool. Daggett, I want to go read them now. I should go read them up to Stormblood and then... But that's me. That's my personal preference. Have I learned to DM for... The only person that I struggle to DM with, and I'm going to be very honest, is the rules lawyer. Hello, Lunith. The rules lawyer gets me. Oh! They're back! The rules lawyer I have a hard time with, because I'm a person who very much omits a rule pretty quick if it involves fun. That player and I just don't jive. That's okay. It's not for everybody. That would be interesting. Hang out with the dwarves. Diggy diggy hole. Google that song.
ですね、まあこの半年ぐらい結構 PVP どうなるのっていうところ
PVP, I heard it. Don't understand that Japanese, but I heard PVP.
ドンってしちゃおうかなと思ってます。お願いします。はい。じゃあパワーポイント。あ、ごめんごめん。
PowerPoint.
So we've been talking about 6.0 materials, but we're also going to, I guess this will kind of fall into 6.1 timing as well, but we've been receiving...
I'm so jealous of Yoshi P. I wish I could go through life without glasses. And only wear them when I need them.
So we would like to take some time to cover that today.
さあ、ではパワーポイントいきましょう。
パワーポイントお願いします。はい。
PvP.
Oh,
we're getting a new map.
So a very curious screenshot here, but we will be discussing about the PvP update.
では順を追ってちょっと説明していきますね。はい、お願いします。まず PVP アップデートですが、新たな少人数 PVP クリスタルコンフリクトというものを
Crystal Conflict
オープンします。
So just going in order here.
Looks like a payload.
We are going to be implementing a new small-scale PvP content called Crystal Conflict as of patch 6.1.
So it gives you time to get everything done and up to date.
結構勝負だと思ってるので、しっかりバランス調整さらにやって、
Or capture the flag, as otherwise seen in there, it could be.
開ける予定で今進めてます。はい。
There was a lot of debate behind the new PvP or the update that we're going to make, whether it's going to be aligned with the launch of the expansion pack 6.0. But we also were concerned about timing-wise, if it's at the same time as Savage Raids opening up, it does build a little conflict, and so we don't see as many people gathering to PvP content, and so it was like a battle of sorts. So we decided that it would be best to take our time to make sure the balance is well adjusted.
I wonder.
And implement it at the first major patch, which is 6.1.
So do I, Asmodeus. That's my my favorite PvP was rated Battlegrounds.
And then at the same time, we will be implementing a new reward system as well.
でまずじゃあその新しい PVP のクリスタルコンフリクトっていうものが、まあ、どんなコンセプトなのかっていうのをお伝えしていこうと思います。はい、お願いします。
First, we'd like to cover what
yes!
the concept of this new PvP crystal conflict is all about.
Asmodeus, you called it!
少人数 なんと5対5という、ライトパーティーでもフルパーティーでもない
Cookies for Asmodeus.
コンテンツになってます。
So
Oh, I like that a lot.
PvP is done with 5 versus 5 members. It's not neither a large nor a full party, but this content will be done with 5 versus 5.
で続いて
Peebs is always
や
cold.
っぱりシンプルなルールでやっぱ短時間気軽に遊べるっていうところがやっぱりファイナルファンタジー14のプレイヤー層に合ってるっていう風に考えてるので、ルールはできるだけシンプルで、やっぱり短い時間で勝負がつくというところを目指してます。
That's an interesting. Look at that.
It's a
Short.
low pressure with simple rules and short matches. So we felt that our players, Final Fantasy 14 players in general, tend to like fit or short content with simple rules, content that can be handled in a short amount of time seems to mesh very well with our players on Final Fantasy 14. So that's why we thought it would be good to have like something that is very simple in terms of rules, low pressure, something that can be enjoyed in short bursts.
でやっぱりその
How the hell did they nail PvP like that? This is the kind of shit that I always wanted of PvP. Simple, easy to grasp, low pressure. Removal?
And with content that is taken on with a smaller group of people, a lot of times there's that sort of pressure of needing to perform. And I think the reason behind that is because we have specific roles that are required in your party. So I think that was one of the reasons why we decided that for this PvP we were going to do away with that sort of role restriction.
ということはどうなるかというとですね、
Healers are
各ジョブ
very
専用の PVP ジョブになると思ってください。で、ジョブ別にアドレナリン
adrenaline rushes.
別々のものを実装します。
And so what that means is that basically you'll be going into this PvP content as like that.
It looks like it
content-specific
screams
job,
it
so to
teaching.
speak. The adrenaline rush is going to be assigned differently as well.
で、
I don't like that second one. Because I'm sorry, but a tank or a healer is huge in PvP.
もうなくしていきます。
なるほど。
はい。
So that includes having an ability to heal yourself for all of the jobs. So that mitigates that sort of pressure healer jobs would have when they're.
And they thought of that too. God damn.
Hopefully, it'll avoid, it'll prevent situations where healers feel too much pressure that they have to perform and kind of become very reluctant to sign up for these.
例えば、
I figured.
竜騎士は言うてもやっぱジャンプがないと竜騎士っぽくないよねっていうのはあると思うので、何かしらジャンプ要素はもちろん竜騎士にはつけるんですけど、もう PV とはもう完全に分離別物。リソースの流用っていうのはあります。エフェクトとかはありますけど、もう完全に別のものにしてます。
But that being said, of course, say for example, like dragoons are known for their jump attacks, so it would be kind of weird if we did away with their signature jump move. So there will be a PvP action that kind of is reminiscent of that, but it will be separate or different from the PvE like general content. We may repurpose some of the resources like visual effects and whatnot, but it will be different from the standard moves in the PvP. なので完全に新しい遊びになると、ジョブは使ってますけど、
There's no stuns.
完全に新しいものになると思っていただいて。
They thought of everything, didn't they?
So I think it's safe to assume that this would be an entirely new gameplay experience. We still use the concept of jobs, but I think it's safe to assume it is quite different. Like it's going to be a completely new experience.
各ジョブがどんな感じでアクションするのかは、またその直前に実機使ってこんな感じになりましたよっていうのはお見せしていこうと思うので、まずはこの
So interesting to me.
course, when the time gets closer, we will take the time to show you how each of these different jobs will function in this mode and some of the actions that are involved using actual gameplay. But I did want to go over the concept with you at this time.
で続いて概要に入りますが、まず5対5のチーム戦になり
So
ます。
5v5, as Budeus called that.
Going into the overview, again, it is a 5 versus 5 team competition.
で、各チームはですね、ロールの縛りはなし、ただしジョブかぶりも
5 different jobs, no role restrictions, and they are a condensed,
まあもちろんマッチング
modified version. Interesting.
And of course, each team formed of 5 different jobs with no role restrictions. And then you'd be
Listen, we're all complaining, but it's going to be 5 Reapers. Y'all know this.
カジュアルマッチ、ランクマッチ、カスタムマッチの3種類
Casual, ranked, and custom.
And then of course you have our casual, ranked, and custom matches available.
そしてですね、なるべく当然実力の
Skill-based matchmaking.
マッチングするように、していきます。
And naturally, it will be skill-based matchmaking.
では、基本ルールの方をちょっとスクリーンショットを使いつつ、
はい、
載せて
We're 5 stages, yeah.
お願いします。
Next up is the basic rules, and we're going to be using that screenshot from earlier to explain this.
まず基本ルールなんですけど、バトルのマップ中央に
Alright, 2 teams with base opposite end of the map claim possession of the crystal.
Basic rules, as you can see, there is an object or your objective in the center of the field.
タクティカルクリスタルって呼んでるオブジェクトが中央にあるので、
Looks like a
基本
capture
的には
flag.
これを、
Solo queue.
巡ってバトルをして、
I like the
相
idea of
手の
ranked.
出撃地点
Team
まで
fight, possession of the
移
crystal.
動させていきます。
なるほ
And
ど。
so this object or tactical crystal is what you are going to be, what your objective is going to be. There will be battles that you will be fighting so that
It's,
you move this crystal to the other team.
It's a different focus. The first thing, let me read the notes back.
相手の、
The first thing they said about PvP was we want short matches played casually with low pressure.
So once the objective or the crystal has been pushed into the opposing team's base, whomever pushed it into there will be the winner.
まあ他の対戦 PVP 系で、まあよくあるルールだなっていうコメントを見ますけど、まあまさにそうです。まあもうキルを取ってそれによってポイントっていうのがやっぱりちょっと14プレイヤーにはそのなんていうのガチすぎて。なので今回はルール自体はその中立オブジェクトを相手側の陣地へ押し込めば勝敗が決まるっていう形のルールにしてあります。はい。
Of course, with some of the different PvP content,
It fell out of the book.
some of the rules were very complicated, and so with this crystal conflict, we made it so that it's much more simplified, where you have this sort of central object that both teams will try to be pushing into each of their opponent's field.
A reverse tug of war, which makes sense. The only question I have is a team that is well evenly placed.
And we do
They
have
say
some
short
screenshots
casual
of the
matches.
maps,
Will that be
and so
short?
we're going to take a look at some of those in screenshots.
Oh, with different maps.
ありましたけど、今回はちょっと自然別っぽいですね。
なるほど。
So our initial example showed something very similar to a Charlian setting, but as you can see here, it looks a little bit more like in nature.
なんかね、アバラシア雲海っぽいじゃあっぽいですね。
It feels very much like the Abalathian, like Sea of Clouds area.
Just
さらにですね。
give us like, oh,
そもそも戦うにしては
gave us
周りがやば
different
そうだねみたい
maps.
な。
It's the same game over and over. It's
Here's
something
another
different to
one.
look at.
Seems very dangerous even outside of the the actual
Like,
PvP
there's a
area.
thought that goes into this stuff. It's incredible.
まあその
Yeah,
バトル
that
中
first
に
sentence they described it
単純に
as
まあ
short
その
matches played
バトル
casually,
単
low
純
pressure.
その押し合いをするだけだと
That's how they first
ハプニングがあるんで
described
マッ
this,
プ自体にも結構ギミックがあったり
what they're trying
し
to
てお
do.
りまあそのギミックが発動した時
That's
がどんな
incredible.
感じなのかっていうのを
That's
ちょっとよろし
the
く
goal.
なるほど。
So,
And of course,
Ah!
just having this object and you battling it out to push this crystal to the other opponent's side might seem a little bland. So we have certain mechanics or gimmicks that are triggered in some of the fields. This is one of those examples.
まあこの爆発に巻き込まれないようにえ
so again, let me reiterate. They give you a new version of PvP, new rules, new game, new everything.
数字だからっていうことじゃない
They added a new system to it. They tried to make it fun and not low pressure.
Perhaps because of this explosion is in a cross shape.
あの私が
はい。
かつて
Yeah, everyone's screaming
ゲーム
Bomberman.
業界に入った頃ハドソンという
And
会社に
different maps do different things, and shit gets real in all of them. That's insane.
申し訳ございません。
はい
This has nothing to do with my history of when I first joined the gaming industry, being a part of the Hudson team and working on the Bomberman series. It does not.
いやいや爆発が十字爆発するのは
That's
あるでしょい
cute.
ろいろ
That's
エヴァンゲリオンも
cute.
十字爆発するでしょ
I mean, this is not the only situation where you will see a cross-shaped explosion. Look at Evangelion. They have explosions like that, right?
That's pretty good.
He's trying to slide himself out of that.
いろんな
Listen.
ギミックもあったり
Well, that could swing the tide.
All of that aside, again,
Could
there
also
are
make a match
certain,
shorter because it keeps happening.
triggers that happen, traps that you may see on some of these maps.
空中エヴァは
Just
空中に
the amount of effort
十字
into
だ
PvP. I could do a video just what I think of PvP. The amount of effort that they put into it
もういい
to make it interesting, dynamic.
Sorry, we're pursuing some of the comments a little too far there.
まあというわけでまあこん
Where
な
it's
様々な
not just a
まあ
hack and
展開から
slash.
ギミックもありますよというご紹介でした。
So just mentioning that there are various maps available, and then some of them have different gimmicks or mechanics that activate.
Different gimmicks. She said the right word there.
さあでは報酬じゃあどうなっていくのっていうところ
I
でですね
just-、
報酬の説明
I
を
can't believe.
お願いします。
The
ま
next
ず
step
あごめんなさい
to
はい
explain about we'd like to explain the reward system.
Season rewards.
まず
That's
クリスタルコンフリクト
Yeah, it encourages players to play it. That's good. And often. Love that. I mean, as much as we don't like to admit it, that's start
どうぞ一回いいですよ
ranking rewards.
So with Crystal Conflict, of course, just like we do with the Feast, we do have season rewards. はい、ごめんなさい。
で、ランキングに関わる順位報酬っていうのと、それから、次も出してシーズンに関わるその階級、ランクを上げて、階級を上げていって、
はい
まあ上手い人だとランク上がって
That's it.
上がっていく、そういった階
Could
級
get
報
dirty.
酬
It
ってい
could
う
get
のもあ
dirty
り
real
ます
fast.
ただこれらは称号とかアチーブメント名誉に関わるものに、統一していきます。
なるほど。
So of course, we also have our ranking rewards. We have the different place ranking rewards as well
Titles,
as the tier
achievements,
ranking
accolades,
rewards.
yeah.
So as you progress through these sort of tiers,
Can we
you will,
tactically? I think it's
go
more
up
fun
the
if it doesn't.
ranks,
If it's
and
random.
then you'll be receiving these rewards.
And then more and
But
more
that
as
being
time
said,
starts
these
running
will
out to
be,
try to.
rewarded with titles and achievements.
I don't know, we'll see.
And other accolades.
6.1.
で、これはあくまでクリスタルコンフリクトとしての、
はい。
報酬なんですけど、PVP 全体に関わる報酬システムを今回ガラッと変えてます。
I
で
just
それをちょっと次ご説明しますね。
はーい。
Okay, and so this was just an explanation of
show us the mount.
Crystal Conflict specifically. Next, we'd like to cover the reward system of PvP overall.
で、 まずシーズンとは別に新しくまだこれちょっと名称決めてないんですけど、シリーズとりあえず今はシリーズと呼んでます。シリーズっていう期間を設定します。
So we're actually doing an overhaul on the PvP reward system, and one of which is going to be setting up this separate sort of period, I guess. And so we're tentatively calling this series. So it will be added in addition to the season, so as like a separate like timeline.
で、このシリーズっていう、期間中に各種 PVP のコンテンツをプレイすることで、そのシリーズ報酬っていうのを獲得できるシステムを用意します。
So PvP rewards during series?
So it says here, players may earn series rewards by participating in any PvP content during each series.
Any PvP content, so it's a little bit more open. Love that.
So it doesn't matter which PvP content you participate.
で、ちょっと、
So you have a choice.
概念を表にしてあります。
Do alright.
ご覧いただきましょう。まあ今クリスタルコンフリクトのみシーズン制っていうもので、上位、ランキングとか階級っていうのをやっていきます。で、それとは別にシリーズと呼ぶ期間。
Okay, so season equals, I like that. That's a very good equals crystal conflict.
So we made a quick chart here on the bottom of the screen. As you can see, crystal conflict is going to have its own sort of season where you
okay,
are,
that makes sense now. That start to make
sense.
The
different tiers and ranks and placement.
God, I'm glad I stayed up for this.
But for the general PvP, will run in a series. So this would be a separate sort of period where if you participate in any PvP content, it will kind of accumulate towards that.
これちょっとまだ明確な区切りをつけてないからちょっと分かりにくい説明になっちゃってるんですけど、変わる可能性はあるんですけど、一旦分かりやすく説明をしますね。
En idée. Je
so apologies if it seems a bit convoluted at this time. We haven't set like a clear delineation as of yet, so there might be some changes made, and there's a possibility of us kind of modifying this, but allow us to explain it to the best of our knowledge, or to best of our abilities.
メジャーパッチ、パッチ 6.1 からパッチ 6.2 までの間を例えばシリーズと呼びます。はい。
So let's say, for example, we are going to call the period between two major patches. So let's say between 6.1 and 6.2, that would be considered a series period.
で、シーズンっていうのはメジャーパッチに関わらず、例えばパッチ 6.1 から 6.15 までが、1対シーズンで、さらに例えば 6.15 から、6.18 までをシーズン
I see some negative comments coming up in the chat over PvP. The reality is that it opens up the game to more. As long as they are.
So, for example, if we wanted to establish the Crystal Conflict season as 6.1 through 6.15 and call that season 1, and then we can also decide to do like a season 2, like between 6.15 and 6.18. So it's safe to assume that
I saw a comment that was interesting.
Shorter.
You don't like PvP. This is not for you. Please respect the people who do.
Yeah,
That's pretty much the thoughts, yeah.
Compared to a series.
で、じゃあそのシリーズ中に
It's one of those things that if they do it well, this could be extremely good for the game. If they do it poorly, but the difference is I have faith in Final Fantasy XIV. Again, short matches played casually with low pressure. If they can keep that mantra, I think this is going to be great. Players can earn rewards by accumulating series experience and raising their series level. So this is something you can level up. Nice.
Players will accumulate experience points and raise their series level.
So something that you can strive for. Oh.
でこの
So y'all just got a shit ton of content.
シリーズレベルっていうのが上がると報酬として専用の
Stuff that's already there.
So looking at this chart here, so as the player continues to participate in PvP content throughout the series, their experience
Too hard to say to
a
sentence.
series experience accumulates.
Kinda.
And so you
Calvin, I guess that's one way to look at it, but it's not paid. That's huge. But more than anything, it gives you something to keep coming back for. Again, or if content dries up for you, it gives you something to push for. Gear, mounts, other items. Oh,
And so it allows
mounts.
for players to kind of work at it little by little and accumulate experience points.
Or it could be,
and
again, if the
raise
idea
your
is
series
short,
level,
casual matches,
as well as collect tokens.
you could
as
just
well.
go do it,
And once you
do
get
one or
to
two a week and
certain
move on.
levels within the series, then that's when you become eligible to obtain like gear rewards.
なのでまあ勝った負けたとか、何位に入る入らない
What's nice about this is you know your progress, you know what you need to get, and it's not necessary.
今回目標にしてます。
I think it's yes, there is some mixed feelings on it.
Competing who wins or loses, or competing who becomes a certain rank or placement. We've changed the system so that you are accumulating points, and so eventually you'll be able to obtain these rewards as you continue to play.
で、シリーズ
It's got a lot to do with other games and their functionality with PvP. It tends to be a more toxic, a more different world, which is why it's struggling.
And whenever a new
That's
series
it, Calvin,
begins, the
100%.
series level will be reset back to level 1, and you start accumulating again. And
It won't impact anything outside of PvP. You don't need to do any of it. It's all casual content.
Then you'll have series 2 specific rewards.
And I agree, Asmodeus. This is something, if they can entice the players to do it more, they could have a larger base for it. And with a large influx of players coming from directly other games that have such strong PvP, this is a good thing. Special tokens. Wait. What is a special token?
And that might beg the question, so do I have
Rewards?
to participate in Season 1 to get some of the rewards that are included in that Season 1 lineup? And that's where this next item comes into hand. We do have these tokens that you
It doesn't
also
need to,
accumulate,
but I mean,
in
it's...
addition to ranking up. These will accumulate, and as you collect more and more of those, you will be able to, of course, first of all, you can exchange them for the different rewards that are available within the series.
It also gives you something to do in between. Adding more for more players to enjoy, or more reasons for a player to enjoy, is not negative to the product.
Even when the season ends, this will not reset, unlike your season experience points or season rank or level. So you can continue to collect these tokens, and the more you play, you will continue to accumulate these, and it will carry over.
Okay, so they're extra rewards. Okay, when they said tokens, I got a little bit afraid. I was like, money? Yeah. Tokens is what gets you rewards from previous events, and you can save for the next event. Basically, Calvin, you're on the right track. It's basically that.
And previous series rewards will eventually be added available via the token exchange.
So you don't need to do it, but holy crap, that mount that you saw that you really liked, you can go work for it and get it.
You may have missed in a particular season. So we did try to make it so that people can play at their own pace.
まあ遅れるけど、そんなに急いでないっていう人は、まあゆっくりで構わない。ただ揃えていくことはできるので、
I have no problem blocking it.
全体がそうであるように。
Exactly, and that's kind of the idea, right?
And So for those who do want to take their time and they don't really mind that the item, even if they miss it the first time, they understand that it might be added later on, and so they won't need to rush. But at the same time, if you want to be current and up to date, you can do that at the same time. You will be able to sort of accumulate and collect the rewards as they become available. So just like all of the other content in Final Fantasy XIV is like this, you can take your time or work at your own pace to obtain these different rewards.
Yeah, basically they made their game more diverse, took away a lot of the bad parts of PvP, FOMO being a big one, real money being a big one, and the dynamic, the PvP is... They want PvP to be as good as everything else.
These series points for all PvP content is not restricted to just Crystal Conflict. It can be accumulated by playing other PvP modes that are available, and you can still raise your
right, Rich? That's
level.
Kind of where I'm going with that.
例えばですけど、まあレイドが来たぞと。はい。ちょっと固定もあるから。
45K viewers. Yeah, 60 down here on YouTube.
もう PVP コンテンツじゃやっぱり時間が割けないから、もうしばらく PVE に集中して一通り装備が揃ったぞってなってからパッチの後半で
Oh man, they took everything I didn't like about PvP, threw it to the wind, and said, here's all the things you do like about PvP, so enjoy. But again, I'm not the high-ranked player.
Raider and the Savage raids open up, and you already have a commitment with your static, and you wanted to concentrate on working on Frog for that side, and want to concentrate on Savage. You can still go into PvP content after you're done with Savage, because it allows for you to accumulate these tokens that you can exchange at a later time. So you can, if you don't have time to carve out for a PvP gameplay then and want to concentrate on PvE, you're more than welcome to go into the different raid content, get the gear that you wanted to get, and then
I'm reading the comments,
aim
sorry.
for raising your PvP series level so that you can gather the tokens and then eventually get to
oh, Calvin, that's
that are offered.
Spicy.
でまあ、トークン、まあ、今コメント
This might get more people. It does. Rewards get you to do stuff, right? Give me a pretty mount, give me a pretty glam. Chances are you'll have people that don't usually PvP do PvP. Take away a lot of the crap of PvP. Again, the fear to perform.
So how do these tokens drop? But this is something that is distributed to you as you raise your series level. And
so you get tokens by just doing, win or lose.
You will accumulate these EXP, and then once you reach a certain level, you obtain these tokens. So I think what's important is for you to participate in these PvP content.
であとまあやっぱり PVP のお話をすると、もう PVP なんていらないよっていう普段よりも厳しい言葉をやっぱり言う人
They took the bad out.
確かにこれは
The sentence I can't stop with.
PvP, I know there's some more critical, harsh comments that come in about, do we really even need a PvP?
Oh my god, they're even addressing that question. They didn't have to address it.
PVP コンテンツを発展させることっていうのもそれにやっぱ大きくつながってくると思ってるし、まあできるだけ多種多様な遊びを14に用意していくっていう時になんだろうこう PVP もとても大切にしていかなきゃいけない。だからまあ今まで以上に
Patrick, you're gonna make me PvP. There's already so much shit I want to do in this game.
もちろんそれで PVE のコンテンツが減ったりすることはないので、なぜなら別々のチーム、別々のスタッフで作ってるので。
And of course, I think considering we want to continue growing Final Fantasy XIV, and we want to continue expanding this title and make it giant and massive. PvP and making sure that we're supporting that and expanding upon it is a very important element. And we want to make it so that we have a good variety of content available for our players to have fun with. And so PvP is also a very important and something that we do want to take care of. And plus we want to kind of dig deeper to make sure that we are providing the sufficient support on it as well. There's no need to worry that PvE content is going to decrease because we're putting effort into PvP, because they're separate teams working on these content. So.
まあ我々には、しっかりとした麻雀ゲームがあるぐらいですから、PVP があっても何の不思議もないのではないかということじゃないかなと私は思います。Personally, I think we already have a great mahjong game using Final Fantasy XIV, so I mean,
We already have a great mahjong game.
We help PvP. Yeah.
まあでもね、まあもちろんこう宗教上の理由、自分のポリシー的に PVP はやれないんだ、無理なんだと、やりたくないんだという方はもちろんしょうがない、それは。
And I understand there are certain people whose religious belief doesn't allow for them to fight other people. I totally understand if there are people who cannot or do not want to play PvP.
でもなんだろう、例えばまあ霊式とか高難易度コンテンツに行かないんだよねっていう人たちもたくさんいると思うんですけど、もう霊式なんか実装するなって言われたらやっぱり悲しいと思うんですよ。作るなとか。そうじゃないと思うので、しっかりまた
It does. It very much does.
いただいてるので PVP 好きな人たちからも。
It also shows that they are immediately looking at it and immediately saying, "This is our stance on it."
I mean, let's say you're not something that or someone who goes to savage raids. Like, I don't know, we would still be sad if there were harsh comments that, oh, don't implement savage content, I don't like it, don't make it, you know. So I think same goes for PvP content. It's a legitimate part of Final Fantasy XIV, and so we do want to make sure we're taking care of that content, making sure that we are supporting not only the development of it, but there are players out there who really enjoy this content and really support it and play it on a regular basis. So we do want to take care of those people as well.
でまあ結構最近ではかつてねコラボレーションさせていただいてたガロ装備が
そうですね。
今一回落としてあるから。
Sorry, I'm just reading the comments here.
今
Yeah, like what the people are asking for is what they're trying to give.
There was also mention about the Garo collaboration armor and gear set. I know we had discontinued those, but there has been people requesting those to come back.
I don't know what that is, though.
We hear you guys, and we are trying to discuss and negotiate about that. So if you could stand by for further updates when it becomes available.
Okay.
さあでは
I believe it is less.
これまたちょっとね、絵が出せる。
But it's because of this stuff. It's because of how they deal with it in game. They get rid of it pretty fucking quick. Does it exist? Listen, it'll never not exist anywhere. I'm just from a different world where it was the norm. And people being nice were the ones being shut down.
Is I wish I had some kind of visual reference for this, but I'm afraid there's still a possibility of this changing fairly drastically. So I'm afraid I can't really show it to you, but I do want to let you know that this is coming, which is and this doesn't apply to just PvP, but it is a sort of system that we want to implement that kind of, I guess it can be categorized as a rewards, but or as a reward, sorry, but we call it the character card system right now. The name is not final.
これ2セクションまとめて出してもらっていいです？うん。 これ
Customizable
説明として分かりや
profiles.
すいのは
Aww.
普段調べる、例えばモルボルのキャラに合わせて調べるってやつ
I like that.
に表示されるキャラクタープロフィールを自
That's
前でものすご
cute.
いカス
I
タムできる
like
ような
that.
ものにします。
Learning process. When 11 came out, yeah.
So we're showing you 2 bullet points right off the bat, but
Well, it's again,
the
it's
best way
it's got a lot to
do
do
it
with the
is
game
that
itself,
whenever you
right?
go click on a character and examine their outfit and their character profile, we are going to make that something that is customizable.
That's so
例えば
cool.
結構 SNS やられてる方とかだと、ご自身のキャラ
I
クタ
get
ー
along
を
with a lot of
お気に入り
people
の
as well in
スクリーン
both.
ショット
Just
貼って
it's different how
プロフィ
it's
ール書いてた
treated.
りするじゃない
No, I haven't
あれを
yet,
ゲーム内で
Lucher.
作れる
I
っていうイメ
am
ージだと
in
思ってください。
5.0.
ざっくり言うと。
I actually just got to the Fae place.
I'm sure people on the social networks have done this before, but like they would take a screenshot of their character in their sort of best pose or like best positioning to use as their profile pic, so to speak. Something
That's
similar
cute.
to that is what we're trying to accomplish in.
Oh, I still haven't tried it, to be honest, Patrick. Speaking out of my ass, I haven't tried it.
例えばキャラクター
Time.
プロフィールの
Time. I didn't have time to
バック
try
グラウ
it.
ンドに貼る壁紙とか、すごい金のギラギラした装飾とかっていうのがいろんなコンテンツの報酬になっていきます。これから。
So we've been minimizing spoilers.
And so, for example, these sort of elements that you can use for customization, for
If almost
example,
everyone
like
should-
a background image, or maybe if it's like a very sparkly, shiny
Very true, too.
decoration, that you can use, will become
Oops.
like
I'm hitting my mic.
loot
My
or
bad.
rewards that you can obtain.
なんだろう、PVP のみじゃないですよ。これは。これは全部です。全コンテンツでこのキャラクターカードシステムっていうのが実装されて、
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. It's 1:30 a.m. and I'm still awake. We're doing
背景を
awesome.
もらったりとか装飾のパーツをもらったりっていうことが
Hold on,
で
right?
きて、
Some more.
で中には PVP の報酬でもらえる背景とか枠っていうのもあるよっていう。
And just to reiterate, this is not limited to PvP. These character cards can be utilized for just general purposes, and the different decoration cards, so to speak, customization options will be available, and they can be obtained through content. And it just so happens that PvP. Sometimes it can be obtained.
It's
through
I've seen it a little everywhere.
PvP.
Exactly. I think it's a great addition. I like it. Hold on. Can we not make this bigger? Let's do that. There. Listen, the chat was getting a little gross, so I took it down. I don't even want to give airtime to it. Bots. It's bots. We don't like bots. Not a fan.
スペシャルなものっていうのはいろんなコンテンツの報酬にまた入れていこうと思うので、ちょっと新しい自分のキャラのこだわりというかカスタマイズっていう幅を広げていきたいなと思ってます。
That's true, Fall. He's
And
sweet.
so I guess it would function as like a business card of sorts, like a name
Huh.
card for your character, to introduce like your
Port
character's
Chief
profile
PBE,
to other players
Destroyer
that may
of
be
Hearts.
interested. And you can customize it with these different background or frame elements.
That's so
And, of
cute.
course, we
This
will
is, again,
have,
something stupid
different
and small, but
elements already available.
I'm
in,
excited for
like,
it. I
the
want to make a
default choices,
profile.
But some of the more special ones might be obtained through some of these content rewards, by collecting them as rewards.
As long as they have a Moogle one, we're
こ
good.
れはですね、まあパッチ 6.1 でこのシステムも公開するので合わせて、パッチ 6.1
Exactly.
の前の
Report them.
PL で、まあどういった
And that's for every
操作が
single
できる
game
の
you
かとか、
play.
どん
If
な
you
コンテン
get
ツで
grief,
その
you get
報酬
shit
と
on,
してもらえて
report them.
こう組み合わせていく
This game
のかみ
takes
たい
some
なのは
seriously and does
まあ
something
実
with
機で
it.
見せ
And
できていったら
by
な
the
と
way,
思って
I
ます
saw on Twitter today, you're actually starting to
And
get feedback
for the
back
system itself, we plan to
when you report somebody. So
reveal it as of 6.1. So prior to that, we would like to take some time at a live letter to kind of explain what kind of decorations and customization options there are. Maybe like give an example of what content you can clear to obtain some of these elements, etc. How can you use them in different combinations and whatnot on actual gameplay, hopefully. So we will take some time at a later date to explain these details.
まあ確かにこれ今コメントにもありましたけど、
はい。
ヨシピー散歩が、
Oh yeah, Rich, I gave up on it. I read full screen with it.
フレームを私のマウス手書きのやつとか入れておけば本物かどうかの判断がつくようになるのかな。
Which is good. There's nothing wrong with
that.
that.
In the comments, but perhaps this might be a good tool because whenever we do like Yoshipi stroll, maybe if I had like a dedicated or like a special frame, maybe like a hand-drawn MS Paint frame, that might allow for people to recognize who is the real Yoshipi and who is an imposter.
だってさ、なんかかっこいい凝ったさ
That's cute.
専用フレームとか作ったらさ、ずりーなんでお前だけってなるじゃん。なんかもう誰も欲しくないような。
Is that Yoshipi? No, that is the Yoshipi.
I say hand-drawn because like if I had a very fancy, like really cool looking frame, people will start to get very envious and so I gave an example of something that nobody would want.
まあというわけで PVP の報酬もガラッと変わりますし、ゲーム全体
That's a
にまた
pretty
新しい
big
その
overhaul.
報酬
Whole
体
new
系というか
system to
自分の
PvP,
そ
and
のおしゃれ
again,
に
I'm
するっていう
really
キャラクター
impressed with
カード
their
システムっていう
their
まあ新しいことを
life
やっていこうと思
mantra
ってるので、まあまず
to PvP.
これはまた6.0 がリリースできて
Sassy
6.1 の開発が進んでいけばお見せしていこうと思いますので楽しみにお待ちください。
Have a great night, Corby Day.
And so, yeah, just wanted to go over the different PvP elements as well as the PvP rewards. But also, in addition to that, we will be implementing a system where it kind of affects the game overall. Kind of another cosmetic feature that people can enjoy. So once 6.0 releases and we make more progress for 6.1, I would like to take the time to explain through these different elements.
さあ、そしてですね、
No, I think this is this is the type of world I was hoping
Finally, I
for.
would like to touch upon the feast.
What is the feast?
まずザ・フィーストに関してなんですが、パ
I know
ッチ
it's a PvP
6.1 で、閉鎖の予定と、しております。
So we are planning to close down or make the feast unavailable at patch 6.1.
まあフィーストが好きでっていう方もいらっしゃるとは思うんですけど、今回やっぱりクリスタルコンフリクトの方
So
に
it's
集
going
中
away.
してこう人を寄せていきたいということもあるので、閉鎖というふうに、させていただきます。
Look at all the Mughals.
I understand that there are players out there who really enjoy playing the feast PvP, but we would like to concentrate on crystal conflict and have people kind of move over into that new PvP. So we made the decision to close down feast.
で 6.0 から 6.1 までは、プレシーズンとして、プレイ可能にはしておきます。
I've never played it, so I have no idea.
That being said, we will have preseason play available from patch 6.0 to 6.1.
でただ報酬としてある狼の首輪は今後も、獲得交換できますので、持っていていただいて大丈夫です。
Wolf collars will still be obtainable and tradable. There's no need to discard them.
That you can obtain it as loot will still be obtainable and tradable, so you do not need to discard them.
でまあここで取れてたまたいろんなものに関しては、新しい PVP 報酬体系の中にも突っ込んでいこうと思いますので、まあ改めてまた、まあ、PVP 申請させつつね、やっていきたいと思ってますので、すいませんずっとね長きにわたってフィストを応援してくださった方もたくさんいらっしゃるんですけど、ありがとうございました。
Okay, makes sense.
6.1 まで、開けておきますので、よろしくお願いします。
And of course, the various loot that was available through playing the feast will be kind of rolled into the new PvP rewards system and added to the lineup. So we are trying to rebirth the PvP system. But again, for those who have been playing the fees and have enjoyed it for the long run, thank you.
And there
so
are
much
limited
for your
amounts.
support.
Gotcha.
But yeah, we hope that you
Well,
will,
looks like that'll be adjusted, which is not bad
continue
either, right?
the overall PvP as well.
はい、以上が PVP と新しい報酬等々のお話でした。
I think that concludes the PvP and the new rewards system discussion.
はい、ありがとうございます。
They got money in that office.
それでは
They
次の
print in color.
前にここで一度休憩を取らさせていただきたい。2回目休憩丸2に入りたいと思いますが、15分ぐらいでよろしいですか。
あれここじゃないんじゃなかったっけ？
あれここじゃない。あ、そっか。違いました。ごめんなさい。嘘でした。
うん。ここじゃ。
そうそう、休憩じゃないです。
They print in color,
だから
guys.
すいません。
Money.
はいはい、忘れた。
はいはいはい。さあ、では続いての項目に行こうと思います。
ごめんなさい。
もともとはここで休憩予定だったんだけど、
さっきここじゃなくしたのに忘れて。
はいはい。
失礼しました。
続いてはクラフターギャザラー関連の、6.0 調整に
Gathering!
So moving on, sorry,
That's
we
true.
were having a bit of a discussion there, but moving along, next is crafting and gathering adjustments.
まず早速いこうと思うんですが、HQ のアイテムの排出停止の補足からさせていただきます。
So first of all, we would like to supplement our explanation regarding the
Only the
HQ
wind traders
items
cared about the
becoming
feast.
no longer obtainable.
Well, I don't want to. If someone liked it, it is what it is. But as long as the
First of all, Disciples of the Land quests that currently require HQ items will be updated to accept both HQ and NQ items.
そしてですね、ギャザラーの HQ 納品ボーナスは廃止した上で基本の報酬量を引き上げます。
And HQ item delivery bonuses for Disciples of the Land will be removed, and base rewards will be improved.
で、HQ 採取に関わるアクションは効果を
okay,
すべて
so
変更させていただい
delivery
てます。
bonuses, base rewards are better.
Actions that affected HQ yields when gathering will be adjusted.
Okay,
そして
I
です
don't know what
ね
these are.
HQ 採取が条件になっている
All good
アチーブメン
changes,
トは
good.
条件を変えますが、引き続き達成可能なようにもちろん全部、取得可能になってますので、こちらは慌てずとも大丈夫です。
Oh, high quality. Goodness.
And
Took me a minute.
the achievements that involve gathering HQ items will be changed, of course, because you will no longer have these. But we are going to make sure that these achievements will still be attainable. We will make adjustments for that.
そうです。
God, I'm dumb.
ちょっと一部混乱があると思うんですけど、最終物の HQ がなくなる。
はい。
クラフターが作った中間素材とかの HQ はまだ存在するので、そこはお間違いなきようよろしくお願いします。
And just wanted to reiterate also, because I think most people are aware, but this is just HQ yields for like gathering items. And it does not affect the crafters, like materials and yeah, the items that they craft.
That's
still
good.
Come out as HQ.
ではまずクラフターからいきます。はい。で当
So
然。
next,
Damn, it's late.
Disciples of
It's
the
almost
Land.
2 a.m. Yeah.
当然レベルキャップ解放されますので、新たなアクションを追加していますし、既存アクションも、調整させていただいてます。
So new actions will be added and existing actions will be adjusted.
Okay.
それからですね、各種数値のデノミネーションに合わせて、全レシピ、工数、品質の数
Recipe
値を、
progress and
調
quality
整
values
さ
will
せ
be
ていただ
adjusted
い
in
ており
accordance
ま
to
す。
value downscaling across the board.
And recipe progress and quality values will be adjusted in accordance with value downscaling across the board.
ですので、全レシピ調整し直したので、
Quests require all HQ
まあ
items
最終
sometimes.
素材
Oh,
の HQ がなくなるということも踏まえて、
what a pain in the
HQ
ass.
制作物、クラフターが作る
Yeah.
HQ 制作の難易度は 6.0 公開前と大きく
It
変わ
means
らな
that
い
the
ように
difficulty
全
of
て調整
crafting
して
HQ
ありま
items
す
will
の
not
でご安
increase
心ください。
significantly.
And so, along with the above, further adjustments will be made so that
That's right, they have rotations for that. That still blows my mind.
Items will not increase significantly in 6.0.
もうやりきって QA もこっちは終わっております。はい。
So this one, we have concluded all tasks that are required for these updates, and QA has been performed as well. So we are good to go on this one.
Good to go.
続いては、
Love that.
寿司園芸師です。はい。でこちらも
Mining
新たなア
and
クション
botany.
を追加し既存アクションの調整をやってます。あゆみさんどうぞ。
Next up is mining and botany. Of course, new actions will be added here, and existing actions will be adjusted.
そしてですね。
So there you go. You will have to look at your
部分
rotations.
だと思うんですけど、こちら、技術
Which
力というも
still
の
blows
に
my
変わります。
mind. The name of perception will be adjusted in some languages, English unaffected.
But they are going to
I would assume
change
French
the
too. Perception.
It's the perception.
英語は変わらないんだそうです。
English is unaffected. So
英語はパーセプションはパーセプションのままなんです。
perception.
日本語だけ変わる。
ニュアンスがさ、両方含むからなんだよね。
そうそうそう。
うん。
I think it's appropriate in the English, so there really wasn't a need to change it in the English language.
そう言語ってこういう時ね翻訳めちゃくちゃ長いんですよね。
Big change there.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, translation, sure, but like just
Un
language in
bol
general,
et les
it's
cheeses
tough
blancs.
because we do need to be mindful about
Un
like,
bol
how words
Et les
are
cheeses blancs, s'il vous
translated or
plaît.
interpreted or localized. So.
What?
英語は特殊なんだっていう逆ですよ。日本語が
Small.
めちゃくちゃあれなんです特殊
S'il
なん
vous
ですよ。
plaît.
そもそも漢字ひらがなカタカナって3つを使いこなすとか、しかも
Just get a container.
同
It's fine.
じ音なのに違う意味とか
False
めちゃ
helping.
くちゃ難しいですよ日本語って。
Getting snacks. It's snack time.
Because, there was a comment that somebody was saying, "Wow, English must be special or unique." But I think the opposite applies to that. Like Japanese is very complex as well. Like you got different ways of writing kanji, hiragana, and katakana are 3 different types of ways to write words. We've got homophones. We've got letters that mean different things but sound the same.
いやもう余談ですけど最近もう長年仕事でキーボードを叩いてるせいで
I
全く漢字書
I
けない。
admit Japanese is a language
本当に
that's
書けない。
very intimidating. I only learned what
Sorry,
hai
I don't mean to
means.
go off on a tangent, but like we're so used to typing that we forget how to like write certain words. Like kanji is complex, like these Chinese characters that we have to write, and so you're so used to typing that you forget how to write them.
I have to agree.
だからホワイトボードにさ、
I have to agree.
人に説明する。
人に説明するのペンで書こうって言うともう漢字出てこなさすぎて、もうだからホワイトボードを
Oh,
タッチスクリーンにしてもらっ
that's fine.
て、キー打ったらバーって書けるよもうマジしてほしい。多分あると思うんだけどねもう。
So like when I'm trying to explain to people on a whiteboard and I just can't remember how to write some of these kanji, it's so frustrating. I wish I'm sure the technology is available. Like have like a touch screen whiteboard where you can type in letters and it shows up.
そうなんですよ。だからまあ海外の方ね日本語覚えられてる方本当にすごいなと思いますね。
Very fair.
So
I mean,
for
I don't
those
know the
who
struggles of writing
don't
Japanese.
speak Japanese as a native language, but are learning how to speak it is I'm just very impressed by those people who are able to do that.
すみませんじゃあちょっと話がそれましたが、じゃあこの技術力どうなんのと。
One for the
ですね
dog.
技術力が高いほど、獲得数ボーナスというのが発生しやすくなってそのボーナスが発生すると獲得数
Okay.
採取した時の、得られ
Makes sense.
る個数ですねがプラス1されるというふうになってます。はい。
Share with the child.
So moving along, sorry about that. Next point says greater perception heightens the chances of triggering gatherer's boon, which increases yield by 1.
まあボーナスが発生するとプラス1ですからね。 はい。
Oh, sorry.
I bet.
So just to reiterate, when this is triggered and Gatherer's Boon is activated, that increases your yield by 1.
HQ 獲得率を上げるというアクションに代わって、獲得数ボーナス率を上げるっていうアクションが追加されたりするので、
actions that increase the probability of obtaining HQ items will be replaced with actions that increase the probability of Gatherer's Boon.
なっていくと思ってください。
And so this ties into the next point, which is actions that increase the probability of obtaining HQ items will be replaced with actions that increase the probability of Gatherer's Boon. So it's basically changing over with the HQ gathering becoming unavailable. You'll have a better chance of gathering with a higher yield, and the probability of gathering more
The dog's
increases. So
drooling
it'll
next to
allow
me.
for efficiency of gathering to be increased a little bit.
そしてですね、続いて漁師に行きますが、
はい。
こちらも新たなアクションと既存アクションの調整っていうのをさせていただいてます。
Next up is fishing. Of course, here also new
Fishing!
actions will be added and existing actions will be adjusted.
I still have to try. I gotta try all these.
ただ HQ なくなったの
New
をど
actions.
うするのっていう部分は、こちら漁師に関しては HQ に代わってですね、ラージサイズっていう魚が釣れるようになります。
That's incredible.
And so this HQ items not becoming available affects
Large
fishing
fish.
in that HQ fish will now be large-sized fish now appearing.
なのでアクションの説明文はすべて HQ が、ラージサイズに置き換わることになります。
Oops.
So with the different action descriptions, it'll be just a simple swap for HQ fish. It'll now be changed to large size
HQ fish.
So that it reflects this change.
漁師はやっぱりこう大物を釣るっていう
Oh no, Calvin.
存在しなきゃいけないので、それ HQ ではって言われたらそうなんですけど、これは残すべきだと判断しているということです。はい。
With fishing, I think getting a big fish is definitely one of the sort
Oh
of
no.
main points, I guess, of gathering fish, so to speak. And I understand that's what HQ was basically. So I think it's safe to assume that we agree that that's kind of like a fundamental element of fishing. So we've decided to kind of keep the system as while kind of changing the name for it.
そして識出力は技術力に
It
変
makes sense.
更となり、こちらはラージサイズの釣れやすさに影響するようになっております。
I assume perception's a stat.
Perception, again, will be modified in the Japanese, but it will be updated so that it will affect fish collectability.
はい。そしてですね、漁師もう一つあってですね、一つ量を回収させていただいております。
Spearfishing?
And then there's one more thing with fishing, and that is adjustments to spearfishing.
スクリーンショットをご覧ください。
Calvin,
We'll take a look at the
you're
screenshot.
killing me.
見てわかる通り 2 ゲームにしました。
As you can see, it has become a mini game of sorts.
見たらわかるってこういう感じなんですけど、一応実機でご紹介します。
So, I mean, I'm sure the image is self-explanatory, but I would like to show it off on actual gameplay.
Oh, we're gonna see some fishing in
One
action.
moment, sorry.
実機の準備をいたします。
I'm excited because
は
I
い
don't.
では
I've never
はい
seen
画面
anything
お願い
like
し
that.
ます。PC please はい。
懐かしいですね、この安らぐ。
和みますね。
Comes back memories.
頭トーンかな。
アクセスするとまあもう開くので、こうシンプルですよ。
The stabby stab.
Very simple. Once you access the spearfishing point, it opens up that window and just stab.
本当に人間。
これでもね、この最中に使うアクションとかもあるんで、はい、警戒度を下げてより多く釣るとか、はい、シンプルなんですけど、まあ、
That is so cool.
使い回しながらやっていくっていう感じですね。はい。もうなんか。
But yeah, I mean it's very simple, but there are actions specific to when that window opens up, and so like for example, you have to kind of lower their defenses so that it's easier for you to go in and stab, etc.
これ地味に、うまくやりたくなるやつです。はい。
I think it's pretty addicting. You want to kind of continue playing so that you get better at it.
That's funny. That's cute. I really like that.
結構チェックしてるときにイラつきました。そう。
That was cute. I have to admit. In real life, honestly, I fish. I fish a lot. I really enjoy fishing. Fishing's one of my favorite. I'm not an outdoorsy person at all.
I got hooked myself.
But I love.
ちゃんと出るようにね、タイミングとかね、UI とか調整、ミニゲームだからこそちゃんとやりましたので、ぜひですね、没量大きく変わりましたので、よろしくお願いします。
I'm sorry.
But yeah, I think
Small tangent.
The gameplay feel does have that sort of significant tactical feeling almost, where you have to gauge.
My cat was sitting on Fall, and then jumped on the dog to get off.
Yeah, it is quite an overhaul, the spearfishing. So I hope people will try it out.
But in real life, I fish a lot. I enjoy it a lot. I'm not an outdoorsy person, but I love to fish.
もう文章より絵見たらわかる。そうですね。
I mean, like,
Oh, they're enjoying it. It's cute.
Upon locating teeming waters, players will now directly utilize their harpoon to catch fish for greater immersion. I mean, I understand it's wonderful text, but like, you know, it's much more easier to explain.
You stabby to fishy.
こういうのがね、日本語のうまさですよね。そうですね。それっぽく。
Very fair, Patrick. Very fair.
で、まあ、さっき言ったように、その連続成功のボーナスとか、アクション使ってこう警戒度を下げて、でこうできるだけ長くたくさんそのつくとかいけるんで、はい、ぜひ。
I like that. It's cute. They made it fun. I want to play stabby stab.
Yeah, it's just very interesting. Like the text is lovely, and the Japanese too. It's pretty cool. But again, it's in the form of a mini game, and there's different perks. Like you mentioned about the actions earlier, but there's also like a chain bonus of swords, successive catches, and other elements that will kind of draw you in.
そしてですね、
Stabby stab game.
続いてが、ちょっと皆さんがギョエーってなるやつお知らせしなければならないのですが、リーブの報酬の見直しを 6.0 で、かけさせていただきます。
So next up might be something that people
Levy
might
rewards?
not want to hear, but we do need to make adjustments to leave rewards.
皆さんがもうコーヒークッキーを焼かなくていいようにするということも踏まえ、ギルがですねインフレーションしていってるので、リーブ受注券1枚に対する報酬量っていうののバランスを改めて見直しさせていただきます。
The amount of gil rewarded per levy quest will be adjusted of inflation.
So we took a look at that, and also the inflation of the economy and the amount of gil. So it says here the amount of gil rewarded per leave quest will be adjusted in light of gil inflation.
まず制作家業の大口依頼、
Coffee biscuits.
領収向け最終家業の大量採集は、
I like
複数
coffee.
枚リーブ使いますけど、その1枚に対するちょっと報酬量が
Can't
今
believe the
多
dog
す
is
ぎる
still
ので、 報酬経験値とギルを、適正数値まで引き下げさせていただきます。
なるほど。
So the EXP and gil rewarded by tradecraft and fishing leaves requiring a large number of items are currently too high and will be reduced.
Aha, you gil chasers. This is how you make all your money.
依頼はこれだけだと下げる一方かよって感じなので、報酬経験値とギルを引き上げているものも、当然あります。
なるほど。
全体バランスを取り直してます。
But other leave quests or the panels that you utilize, it says here the EXP and gil rewarded by certain other leaves will be increased in terms of yeah, we wanted to make sure that the overall balance is kept.
Yep. Well, it depends. Some will get an increase, but the big ones are not. So if you're a big one, well, do the big ones.
までの経験値と、単純な数字だけを比較すると下がって見える場合があるので、
あ、確かに。
割合で言ったら上がってるんですけど、もう全部数字バランス取り直しちゃってるので、ちょっと
Sorry, I was picking cheeses out of my teeth. We're good.
すいませんがご了承ください。
And petting the
That being
dog.
said, with the sort of downscaling and adjusting of the numbers, if you look at just the little numbers that show up compared to content up to 5.x and then with Endwalker, it might seem like the numbers were kind of decreased, but there are elements where we've increased the percentage. Hopefully that makes sense, but the balance wise, we did go
okay,
into
you're good.
adjustments
Me, I haven't
so
even
that
looked.
it is
I've
more
unlocked
appropriate.
everything.
So
I just
don't be
haven't done
surprised
it.
if it seems like numbers were pulled down. It might just be that it's the effect of downscaling.
Balance. All is good.
で、まあこれを今言うかどうかも結構迷ったんですけど、
はい。
なぜなら駆け込んじまえ
My dog is
ば
looking for
で
snacks.
きるので、
はい。
まあでもね、あまり直前というか、もうね、なのでちょっと今お知らせちゃんとさせていただこうと思って、
He does.
はい、ここでお話ししていきます。
He's only here because we are.
So we were actually torn on whether or not we should bring this up at this time. It is, we still do have some time, so people can still rush in to do these different quests before all of these adjustments happen.
Very fair
But,
teaching. Thanks for the
I mean,
insight.
it
This
is,
is something I have no
very
insight
close,
on. I don't know
we
anything
are at the
about. So
last
I really
minute at
appreciate you
this
guys
point,
like
and so,
saying what you guys
I
think
did
on the
decide that
subject.
It is a good time to just let everybody know at this time.
で
Tired
は
pup.
続いてはこうシステム関連の調整をお伝え
It's hard to have a judgment on some stuff's going up, some stuff's going down, and you're like,
ワイも混乱しておる。
okay.
すいません。失礼しました。そうなんです。次は続いてシステム
Cat
関連の調整と進んでいくんですが、その前に、休憩を
I'm in the middle of trying to convince my spouse that the next dog would be named Kupo.
日本時間で2時15分まで
It's definitely up for debate.
で休憩
I
の
want
間
him
は
to
で
be
すね
named Kupo.
本日冒頭から2回ほど流したローンチトレーラーですけども、ここの休憩では英語版を流してみようじゃないかということでよろしければ
Kind of like they're just saying, it is.
So now we'd like to take a break for 15 minutes. So we are coming back at the 2:55 Japan time. So during this
Okay.
Break, we are showing the English version of the launch trailer. So please enjoy it. では休憩です。失礼します。
Oh no. Okay, we're gonna mute it. Hold on. No, 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 no. Y'all not doing this. Oh, no, 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 no. Guess to put some music on. All right. So they're taking a little bit of a break. We will too. So I want everyone to get up, stretch it out. I like the idea of it, Philip. Thank you. That's good to know, honestly. And the stabby stab game, let's be honest, that looks fun. So everyone take a break. Take 5, stretch, get some snacks, drinks, whatever. We got this. I will be back in about 5 minutes. So again, I'm taking a little break, just taking the mic and stuff off, listen to the music, or go listen to the thing. And I will be back. Again, get up and move. It's important. All right. Welcome. I am back. Welcome aboard. Thank you for joining aboard. Thank you for being here. Gemma, welcome. Inabon, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate it. It really does help